as a digital simulation, really, to digitalize, to steal life. It is an anti-life program. It's moving from carbon-based life to silicon-based life to a digital twin of the world that they can control, that is disconnected from spirit.
I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with his peace. Through tones, melodies, poems, and peace. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Once, don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work, the left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this peace. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We got protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no posse. Spola, worshiping pedophiles, wanna feed our children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system irrigation and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this peace. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher, nor am I some pastor or preacher. Was released from prison with this passion to speak up. After doing 25 years in the Beast Coast, realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this beat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this peace. Through tones, melodies, tones, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
We're really approaching they're bringing it to us as innovation, right? We should all be so excited that this is happening. And equated to like the Nala bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
Change for being fucking dumb. What you told before. That's how the shit works. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. Oh, shit. It could be. I could be right there. Okay. All right, I'll check that later. Whew, shit. That one's good. Okay. Okay.
I'm off the radar. I am as you goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper or bra. You stagnated, well I straight evolve. At a rate of data space easy, y'all.
God damn. Leave this shit.
Flying a jet straight to adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Sebastian Capero, I'm fly bandit. Mohawk, aviators, and it's like I'm an arrow and precise transmit.
Oh, what's wrong? Hey, man, what's going on?
The rules and perils what I transmit as a transcript, or I just spit it off the top into the shit or get off the pot.
Somebody. Today I'm gonna go on, but I'm gonna do it without being so demeaning. Oh, that's your old lady. That's the woman of my past and y'all's fake future. I have anybody I want to have. I be with whoever I want to be. All right. If you haven't been paying attention to videos and you caught in your little fake religious dichotomy and your deplorable state of accepted intolerance of stupid stuff, and you relegated yourself to the phenom of this fake new world order, you be right there. There's your answer. That's for that individual when they come. Who you think you're dealing with? Keep acting so common to the renaissance that's going on. If I had feelings, I'd probably be like, feelings like really, I look at things so different. If I had feelings like yo, I'd probably be like, oh, yeah, stuff that don't even matter. I'm gonna do me and resilience. Right now in so-called America, y'all are being lied to more than anybody in the world. And have been from your inception. You know, your grandma had your mom and your mama had you. Them seeds you have, they're there from when you come into this world. Stop believing in these fake people want to. These are sacrifices used against you. These abortions. What's the Mandela effect going on? Do I really got to get all that super intelligent and intellectual? Which ain't intelligent or intellectual at all? God dog, man. I'm that man that majority of women want, but they go running for things that have no existence and they tolerate it because they just are stupid. That's very pragmatic, isn't it? God, I don't even want the majority of women. Oh. It's just like taking a stick with no sulfur, raking it against that carbon, you know, trying to get a fire going. No. Just throw me in the lake and let me float on down and become, you know, the stuff that washes up in shores from thousands of years ago destruction. You know. And she asked, and I'm like, don't flatter yourself. I'm surprised anybody wants. I wasn't being mean. I was articulating truth. I was surprised that anyone would want her. And I'm not talking because of how she looks, and I'm talking about the mind state. There was no strength there. It was everything showing that, and it's not with hate. It's either wake up or stay just as valuable as you are, as they made you. I mean, I was an ex-power lifter, not really bodybuilder. I've been through more stressful situations than most. I've been shot at before I went in the military. I don't even want to count how many times. And all right, so give me the hoop the other PTSD combat vet shit somewhere else. Excuse my language. Besides being damn near beaten to death for 6 years of my beginning walk, I don't want to hear nothing nobody's got to say with the fake little world they exist in. I won't disregard and disrespect it if, you know, that's what you choose. But don't come over here with your inconsistent, foolish diatribe that is a monument to your zero knowledge. And then it alludes to the fact that you have no affection, no true love, whatever that means to you, right? Or anything else. Unbelievable.
And with that on the temple, drop. I added Vision the past 98 circulars round, created successful reality from a virtual.
My God, waste my beautiful ether. Oh no.
All up in your face, all up in your space. And I ain't talking all brawls for dogs with whole trace. So I walk tall kittens while y'all cross slow race. I stay focused on walking through them tall gold gates. Draw magic circle around me and keep me from.
Did you get your everyday morning dose? Not saying it's good or the best thing. Heck, 2-3 years, maybe next week something might come out about this. That's questionable.
Angels, thank you, and I of course am the chief triangle. If I die before I wake, well at least I'll fly in plain view.
Right?
I am my circle. How I
my beard is low. Anyway.
Serpent for certain amongst foreigners. Out of state, out of place, in the space they storing us. Learning firsthand of what fate was for one of us. How we call wind blowing out. Spit flow, stroke, man, flat in the shell at shower, Hampton kept slow. Stay high. Years later, he's the same degree, just gained density. Gave my synopsis, he's hostage. I prayed I could.
I'm gonna work on this a little bit today. It's supposed to rain, and tomorrow it's supposed to be raining. I think it's like 48 today and 60 something tomorrow. My beard, I thought I brushed it. It look all right. I didn't shave because I'm letting it grow in again, but y'all know how that goes.
Circumscribe my passions, my squares, my lift. Ask, is it worth the ride? Yeah, it's rare, I spit. But the beach churchified, so I bear my shit. It hurt, I cried, this kid, and then it tried to.
You know what I can't do? I'm gonna share this with y'all right quick, right? And I maybe I can explain it medically because there is a lot of things going on. For you women who've been broken by men, or you drug related, whatever it may be, because like I said, a lot of people I know, and even myself, what I used to drink, thinking that's what I needed because the hate was so deep in me because I knew she was flirting and cheating, and so I would get drunk just in order to sleep with my wife. And when I was sober, I look at her like, but I wanted to respect the dynamic of her Christian ideology, and to support her as a man who was practical in the wife. No matter what, we work it out through sickness, health, and all that, right? So it's the same for everybody. It doesn't matter whether it's synthetic, whether it's weed, whether it's alcohol. Well, weed is not a drug. Marijuana is not a drug. They're making it one. Syrup, whatever it is. What happens is you lose a part of yourself because you never really had that part. So it's easy to lean on the fact that I know like when I used to go to therapy, right? I used to deal with a lot of people in therapy, diabetes, this, that, and other. And I go in there and I would sit around, I'd be like, okay, well, I'll tell my story too. And that's what I was drinking hard. Like I was like, let me go and try this AA thing and sit with some people who I know who respected the ground I walked. They were like, we didn't know you were alcoholic. I was like, what? I would stay alcoholic and probably go into that damn dumb grave as alcoholic, but no, I couldn't. My libido's high. I could probably do it 3, 4, 5 times a day. But there's women, because they hold life, it's very damaging when they're disrespected, beaten, abused. Now, women do it to men, but how did they get there? I didn't play my regular. Put this in the background. All right. You can be slow all you want. Goofy ass. Here we go. Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump this on and we'll get it started. I'm gonna play it low, but I'm still gonna say what gotta say. So that's why I study sociology and I study people. And women, and I want to say it's a balance, but in women, it is much harder because those emotions and feelings, that's the reason why they go to the tree. They used to go to the tree or to the river with other sisters to bear the newborn, bring the youngling in. Because with the tree at the frequency and the earth at its sin level, 7.35 or 8, right? There's a connection like the belt that from each magnetic existent or point, right? That goes like this. And in that womb is the woman. This out here, that energy, that power, that is like the man. So you have that and this, just like they make you believe in the fake round earth. But with the tree, women used to squat, literally stand and squat, go up on their toes, no shoes to bind it to our toes spread like that. And she used to put her hand on the tree and squeeze the baby out over a matter of half an hour, a couple hours, without moving. By the river wasn't polluted by these Zionists, these frauds. So they would take the baby off the streams, and when the baby come out with the placenta, they used to stand there with certain leaves, oak and stuff like that, and they used to gently rub the placenta down in the stream with the baby. Minerals going in the pores. That placenta cannot be disconnected and must be utilized all the way to its fullest potential. Not with these things over here that consider themselves royalty, which 85 to 75% of them from incest. Just like they're talking about the Pakistanis, the Hindus, and da. But that was each time they came and conquered. When you lose that very important, as we call it, sexual aspect of yourself, it is not because it's not there. There is so many scars and so much damage. And also in the man, I had to address mine. And then the chemicals, what they do to your synapses and the firing of all the, you know what I'm saying? It's not just there. It's all eternal. It's eternal. And it offsets and it gets this imbalance that happens. So the mind cannot conceptualize, conceive. It can be driven because we're dealing in a very first time for that, call it the 7 air, or the weekly scratch, that foolishness. And what happens is everything becomes ugly. And then things on the opposite end of the spectrum become beautiful. Yuhade, right? Zanat and Uhade, right? And we can't make out the indifference because it seems normal. Because when you have a room full of men and women who are not just awestruck in their delusion, and I'm not saying that mean a bad thing. I'm saying because that's what it is. That's my theme music. I should have my Cody James on. All right, we're almost 50 minutes. All right. We can say any kind of word, paint any kind of way we want, any Picasso or whatever, right? And my thing was, how do we get individuals to get it back? How do we without being demeaning and hurtful, create this new stream without making a dam to block off the old one, because it's got to be rediverted and cleansed. Make the new stream so that way we can say, wow, I've been holding myself. That's what it is. Because of poor choices. And I can get it. Some people say I don't do it because I do make poor choices. When you come into the know, that's why it's important to remember yesterday, you don't have to make poor choices. You don't have to lock yourself in. You know, people, I see these individuals on Instagram. I fall in love easy and hard. They use a fucking retard. Some people have strong compassion, but that's only because they haven't been nurtured or guided in a way that facilitates more responsibility of self. Sex is not bad. It's the most beautiful. If we're going to use the term sex, I hate that term, right? There's better ones. Coupulating or whatever it may be, even if it's not as physical, even if it's just standing in front, holding hands and conveying that through breath. You know, when you breathe in, so when you breathe out, in and out your mouth, it's for more energy, right? So both of them gives to life, right? But if we don't have those practices, if we're not nurtured in the mind to facilitate a different focus, and we focus on all these things around, it's like a lot of chatter, a lot of noise. That's why I always say it's best to, you know, get yourself together, get your own charms. And you ain't got to do it loud too. I do it loud at times. Lately, I've been doing it very low because I want to feel it. So I've been going, both in. when you hyperventilate, that's oxygenating you. So it gives you bursts of energy. But if you're not moving, if you're not walking or doing something, right, you feel a little lightheaded because there's a lot of energy. Your muscles have been utilized like that. It's like using small twitch, small muscles, and you always tear them because you don't strengthen them because you're always working on the big muscles. It's the same thing. Got to work on the small stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? And there are other chants. I remember I expressed and I shared them with us. Study these things, but know what they're for and find out in a way, mesoretically, which you can utilize them to benefit yourselves. Sex is beautiful. And I'd be damned if these Zionists and these fakes and all these other things doing their perversions, murdering children, and everything else are going to lenient and devalue you. That means you've allowed it. I'm not saying run out there and run to every Dixie Cup bar saloon and start hoo-hawking and wild turkey in it and Grey Goosing and vodka in it and hey, happy. No, that's what the rainbows do. As a guardian angel, I have went inside buildings that smell like like 18 porta potties, yo. Like, and stuff right around it on the outside, like, and it's men's just, and you say to yourself, how with all this steam and like a Turkish bath, how? Even when I went to the one in Turkey, I visited with a couple guys that wanted to show you something cheap, we go in there and men's big old fat Turkish Ashkenaz, right? Whatever, right? Towel, some of them butt naked, no bigger than a peanut, and they all rubbing and massaging. I say, hi, man, come on, man. She's like, yeah, that's why you don't want to go and want to need Turkish massage. I used to be sitting there going, what is it? But he was letting us know, but as a guardian angel in New York, they exist. They exist in these little, like, you look, we had to go in there because people scrapping. I guess boy love quarrels. I don't know. But we'd have to go break the gloves out. No, not practical. Break the gloves off. I was like, can I get a whole plastic, rain suit? Zip tie, tackling. What's that cartoon when the dude was all Vaseline up, slipping, diddied up, zip? Y'all don't have a clue, all right? But the smell, that is not natural. It is not normal. We have a world of the most beautiful people. Like, I would go back, I don't know, y'all look it up and correct me. I think in the 80s, Iran, I think now it's about 0.5%, maybe a little more. They'll lie about it. There are a lot of Jews in Iran. I mean, it's pretty much who make up the Persians today. They were conquered. The original Persians were very dark, melanated looking African people. Seriously. I have the photos, Alamy and everything else that could prove it. Even in Germany, I've seen what the Persians look like in the art, the old Greco, even the Greece or the Grecians, whatever you want to call them, like dark as, you know what I'm saying? Like the original Mississippians and the Creek. And every book I found about the Creek people, and that's why I laugh at these people calling them the Creek or Creek. If y'all don't stop. Anyway, they was about as dark as this shirt. Curly fro, some wavy, like Polynesian, like, you know what I'm saying? But I say it because people are asking some of the most ridiculous questions. My heart belongs to everyone. But that has nothing to do with a personal relationship or personal desires that are created to bring in more life for the purpose of transcending this environment and creating. I don't think people understand the importance of infinite and being capped off and then done in the most perverse way. Yeah, let's say we have something like Prometheus, where something comes, drinks something, and creates this hybridized self. I mean, that's what they need you to facilitate and believe. Maybe they think that, or maybe that's the trajectory and the direction they're going to create what they want. That There's an order and a reason for existence. It doesn't matter who or how. And if you are still on the gravy train of perversion, we're using these terms loosely because there are other ones, but I think this is more beneficial for you. If you're still in the diluted existence, you know, water, and you start adding stuff to it when the water was fine, what's the takeaway? So ergo, Snooey, that's my everything. Now, I can't express that no more, but you better believe I can do as I choose and as I please, and that ain't do as thou wit. That is the perverse of it. My thing is, what are we doing with all, do you know the numbers on Earth? With everybody on Earth right now, it's not overpopulated. It ain't even 0.011% of what can exist. It's because they will lose control, and there are things that can destroy everything, per se. All right? Don't they? If you want somebody to do something, don't you lean on the weak? I mean, look at all those children they strapped with bombs who didn't want to blow themselves up, and they sent them and says, go over there. You'll be fine. You're not, you know, and they go and they blow up the whole marketplace. I really don't comprehend how people can allow crayon color, the myth of race and ethnicity and all those other things, the diluting, allow that to be the manuscript for existence. If that ain't rewriting, if that isn't a form of renaissance, you know, when you think about W.B. Du Bois, all those melon black Moors, whatever they were, whoever they were, don't matter, betrayers, to enjoy themselves going to France and partaking in things, even probably in the sadistic termination of the melanated races. You'd be surprised. It's because they don't say nothing, don't mean nothing. Okay? The false royalty set themselves on a pyre when the truth of what would be considered royalty walks around subjugated by the very essence of deeper perversions. A system that gives its credit to it. And you all fear the most beautiful thing. Stop making bad choices, and you won't have the fears, and you won't have to lament in a place that is sanctimony in a reverse kind of way. Every time I see the Hebrew Israelites standing on the corners, you know, they just beat some Jew up, and well, he shouldn't have put his hand on their stuff, and they mollywopped him good. Not the one in Chicago. Chicago. At least Chicago did a lot of great things. House music, you know, we elevated it, but yeah. But anyway, they wear this damn thing they think is Star of David. They preach Jesus. They don't hear nothing about Emmanuel. They mess with the Septuagint. They sit out there with anger and rage for hundreds of slavery and they don't want to listen to reason. And they're what I call grab-ons. Everything that comes out, regardless of its truth, they implement it. How do you walk around with, you know, Krillin arm braces with studs on it, like you're studying praying mantis kung fu, right? How you walk around with those little studded leather things like you're doing praying mantis kung fu, right? How dare you? And then put spikes like you punk rocking, and alluded to being a Hebrew and an Indian or indigenous aboriginal. I use the word autochthonous, sentient, because that's beforehand of origin. And then put big turkey feathers in your head, calling yourself chief. You don't even know where the chief comes from. You don't know the headdress being utilized to systemically create a new narrative that has nothing to do with truth, to eradicate Tartary in the grand buildings of design, our creations and inventions. I say usury, and here we have these fools running around doing the same thing at the same time wearing an ankh as if they really know the narrative behind the ankh, carrying a damn man purse. Talking about, yeah, I got a pine cone. I use it as a symbolist because it actually means a cob. Maze. While you're running around in the maze, facilitating these things without knowledge of knowing, having a deeper understanding of as above, so below, they don't get it. They really don't. I'm not here to bring it. I'm not here to, I've said enough. Women, how many of y'all actually had, and I don't want to hear this because I've seen relationships, I've watched 1,000 or maybe 1,000,000. I've been around people, I've had my own. Have you ever stood in front of the person you wanted to be with? That man, woman to man, I ain't no woman knows stuff. She knows how to touch me. I'll shut up and teach a man how to touch you. Anyway, and vice versa, because some of these young, these we're gonna call them YNs today, they are just, I'm not saying that with hate. They got, I'm aware of how they got there, but you would think, oh man, right? But stood in front of a man, and he was willing to breathe on you in a way that didn't compromise your thoughts, your aspirations, and learn to breathe together. How many of you ever stood and put your face side by side, her facing this way? You don't have to literally hold each other. There's nothing wrong with that. And literally listen to each other breathe without laughing, giggling, sniggering, and breathe and close your eyes and let your hearts barely touch and allow yourself to go away. None of you. I know it. I used to ask this about them. Well, why did you do it? Well, at the time, even though I heard about it, I didn't practice it. I didn't participate. But I did it with somebody who could have been my fiance, and they got locked up. She was a very beautiful island girl. And we breathed and held each other. Man, it was deeper than deep. And because I still denied who I was, what I had come across or learned, it was easy for me to go into the pocket of rage and anger without using rationality. It's easy to say, but you, and then turn around and go, I'm tired, I can't deal. And it's you, and it's you, and it's you, and it's you, and it's you. You know, I'm not lying. For homeboy, yeah, hey, tell you what, I might shave it off one day. It's like, I bet I got a double chin, all right? I got a little hue, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna shave it off because it's about time anyway. I'm gonna shave all this beauty off. I'm gonna shave it all off. All right, every bit of it. I just don't want y'all looking at scars and, you know, try to focus in because that's more concerning. And we'll see. But anyway, it's we have joined this dichotomy of a blame being a virtue and supportive. I mean, you look on YouTube and you see what's that little idiot always going with the one that snitched. And he's running around here. I think he got locked up and he's back out or whatever. There's a lot of that going on, right? We've allowed that 20 versus 1 and all this other kind of goofy stuff to become the common denominator, and the guy walking around with the girls with the stinky BBLs, walking around with the, you know, on 60-degree weather with swimming trunks on in Miami. Can you shake it? Can I touch it? You know, and everybody has allowed this person to get rich on this because systemically we don't address how it got that way. Now, we've all stated, enough people have pushed, you know, the Levins, the you know the names, all right? The white parties, I've been to one. Oh, goodness. All white party. Oh, don't ever just, man, you be like, hey, that home, they hugged up. Yeah, cuz I don't even look over there, man. They've been like that when they was in Spanish Harlem. What? Fat Joe kind of looking at that dude, kind of funny. I know. I've been to an all-white party a long time ago. I don't want to get into the magic and all that stuff. I'm going to read some stuff, some notes and stuff I have. The damage is not perfect. You're not hated. You don't hate yourself. The moment you free yourself and allow it, do not go looking for what you think you want, because that's where we make the biggest mistake. I'll be like, oh, damn. And get up, breath stank, talk like, hey, you know what? The ambulance came. You know how to, I mean, if the booty's that strong, then you know, the Sith got you. May the Force, I want to say, be with you, but you done went on over it, and they got, yeah, the Jedi used to not become, or you fell Obi-Wan, you done gave and became a Vader. Okay, that's all, that's bottom line. So you're going to run up in it, which most knuckleheads do, and that's not where you're supposed to be at. And she ain't supposed to be letting you come up in there railroading her with that old raggedy choo-choo train. To put it lightly, okay? All right? Because there's no damage control. No one's a benefactor of that little itch that should be natural all the time, because we further remove ourselves and create this perverse narrative that further separates and divides. And that is also part of the Margaret Sanger project. You thought it was just scrape, cut, clothes hanger. No. It's up here as well as in here. To make those decisions based on religious ideology? No. And that's what it's steeped in. That's why she had to reach out to the churches, whether it be the Zionist Christian of the KKK or the Methodist AME or whatever it may be of the so-called black community. I'll be glad when these Negroes stop calling themselves black. I'd rather hear you, because black didn't mean nobody else. It definitely meant the Aboriginal people of this land. It didn't mean no one else. But we're not here to convene and convey that. We're not here. That's not what this is about. So, to be a sexual creature and to move dormantly, sometimes we have the babies and we're satisfied, and it makes absolute sense, especially in these times. I couldn't agree less. So I get it. But the other part, in that place where there's emptiness and we can always fall back on our vices, it's good to be able not to be locked down and all bound with rings and all this other, these symbolisms and these totems, you know what I mean? To be able to have those you can entrust. We're not going to be all over. You know, you see these little idiots. This is conditioning. These idiots from Hollywood and everything else, or sports. You know, Odell Beckham. Video with her with a fat woman smoking crack and getting, and busting. Yeah. First of all, what you doing looking at that? Well, what fed you to want to see that? Is that natural? Is there really a need to know? There's a conditioning. Okay? And a lot of times you need to start at the root to know as to why. But some don't know where to start. It's like the puzzle. You know, you want to find all the four ends and then build your map around your fence, right? And then start filling in, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, it is not a donut baked. And then you sit there with your little, and you squeeze it and fill it. And no. And then after that, you decorate it with some sprinkles and stuff on the outside. Look at it. No. It doesn't fix, resolve. There's no solution to anything. It is you. You have to allow yourself to want to be embraced, but not by your poor choices. So there are moments when it does take time. Sometimes slow, sometimes fast. And no one can tell anyone. So I get that. Because like I said, I talk to a lot of people. But y'all are not the one. This live right here obviously is not me texting and chatting with individuals. Beautiful woman in the islands who I know from New York. Bad choices in men. But we chat all the time. I'm not throwing myself at her. No, she came around and, hey, man, you got You got about 45 minutes, but you better be able to, and then go on about your business. 45 minutes, all that big, fixing it big. I'm about to, but after that, yeah, but it's not hate. And when you move without those false emotions and feelings, you realize, you see the bigger picture. That pleasure is not bad. Right now, pleasure is, you see it. People with their back starting to change because of the certain chemicals in the drug, the synthetic, or the alcohol, and people can't move right, and can't judge, but they're acting on a notion under the influence that is not respectful, responsible, or cordial. Okay, I need to speak on this because I see a lot of people talking about it. I had people message me, and I was like, you know what? And then somebody made a suggestion. Hey, so that's your like, like people need to have this false feeling that they're in control. And obviously, if you had control, the question wouldn't even be there. Especially when there's no harm, no danger, no none of that. And we say it's just being nosy. And for what purpose? Usually when you're being nosy, it's for no good purpose at all. It never is. It's not because an individual needs to know. When you need to know something, more something, right? That is absolutely nothing. What is your trajectory? What is the purpose? What is it? It's like me when I hear people arguing and fighting. I talk about because we have a number of individuals who are in relationships who have these arguments and fights. But they wanted to act, they wanted to be like, the movie with the boat and homeboy leaning out and the fake girl with the rose, whitewashed again. The Titanic, and it's not like that at all, man. It's a whirlpool with a tornado and debris cutting up every damn, making origami out of everything. That's what these relationships be, man. So I have to speak on it. Who thinks they're in control to determine what's said or not? Some people will sit there because they know it's about them, but don't realize it's about a million others that it may be affecting. They talking about me. I feel some kind of way. Oh, shut your goofy ass up. I'm speaking to the masses. As I stated, I've been there. I laid in the bed after not sleeping for months or years. Had sex and lay back on my back. Got homework to do. And then arguments start for whatever reason. And I sit there and I go, this is not good. This is not my energy. That's why I say it's paramount. It's indicative of you to be careful of how well you're healing and then put yourself right back in the stomp with all the termites, the maggots, the mold. You're not becoming a tree. You're not going to flower and blossom. I don't care how much water. Okay? Okay, I got that out of my system.
Yo, Big T, you ain't gotta worry about buying no shit.
I know, beloved, but I like to always help out, fam. All right? Yo, I'm live right now. That's original sounds, man. Good brother, man. I like what he does. Hey, with your baby. Look at your baby. Look at you. What's going on? Because your mammy had two of you, unless the other one got taken by one of these old ravenous hawks. These hawks are ravens. We don't have crows here. We have ravens, for those who don't know. So, let's see. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. We look at the banking system, right? And you know the dollar's worth nothing. 1971, Nixon, the gold was moved, the dollar became worth absolutely nothing. But yet it keeps everybody enslaved and functioning. Now they're going to follow it up because they want to get rid of you. Yes, they're going to crash it just like they did in 1930. Well, you know, all the time. They've done it in every country. Somebody always got kicked out. Please. Okay. Y'all know about Peter Thiel, right? About 57 years old, born a year after me, blah, blah, blah. I think he created, he founded the PayPal in 1999. And well, anyway, and, you know, things are always going to come out about these individuals because they're bowing them out. They're getting them up out of here or getting them underground. And y'all have no clue. Here in this so-called America, I don't say U.S. because that's not what it is. All right. If it was the U.S., every law would be the same. It wouldn't be blue and red states and all this other dumb stuff. But it's the way to control the masses, as you see. And lately, the last 20 years, it's to show how irresponsible they can condition people to be. You see the biggest surge in the last 20, 25 years of melanated people out of Georgia and all these different places in California to become millionaires, multimillionaires. Not a secret, you know, especially using certain websites to stream, making up to like a 6-hour, 12-hour stream, $50,000 or 500 or whatever the numbers are. I haven't really studied those numbers, but they're there for those who want to study it. Literally making like Kai Kanat and all those individuals, Aiden Ross. You got a lot of people doing it now, even Rampage Jackson. And you think they would have told everybody how to do these things? No, you are dealing with such a deep perversion based on these things. Now, he was ousted from that and he just bought something else. It's Peter Thiel, but I'm utilizing him as an example when it's a whole bunch of them, whether it be Elon Musk, this, that, and other. The banking system was built on our ancestors' fiat, the real gold, silver, everything we had. This country is built on. You know, you always hear these little dumb racists who don't know nothing. No. They're just too dumb to know better. They think they built the country, this, that. No, they built the chaos that keeps the chaos going, supporting the chaos, not the chaos theory. All right? And he's an example of it because if you read about, you know, him buying the company, whatever, Facebook's or whatever it may be, you know, 500,000, 1 billion, whatever it may be. This keeps everybody stuck in the technological aspects, what's going on behind the scenes. Isn't that irrelevant to your existence when your food's still poison? Plastics, PFAS, chemicals, heavy metals, weather. You see that they keep testing their weather control. It's to get to a certain point to flood all the coastlines, to create things you have no idea about, and to subjugate all the people. While that's going on, there'll be certain individuals being hit with aircrafts and vehicles pulling up out of nowhere. They can't call the cavalry because you never became the cavalry. You never supported one another. And all that happened is what you see is going on. I mean, you think about the Jewish people, Palestinians who don't recognize themselves as Palestinians, but they're a composure of mixture of religion, ideologies, and this, that, even going as far as Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam. They're respected. But you see what's going on in Syria. These fanatics are running around killing them. And this is the scourge. This is the Arabic scourge. But over here, you don't hear all that unless it's flicky flocky or it's Instagram or something. The main media is not going to talk about it because they need you to stay blind and subjugated to what's going to happen here. Most of those individuals, those news reports and everything are underground. They're outside. But they keep you in your Truman-like existence. Truman Show, for those who know what I'm talking about. And I'm very aware that the majority are not going to change because how many of y'all will agree when I say this? When I'm talking about the Hegelian, or, you know, I have those up here. If somebody wants to know, I can read it to you. Excuse me. Let me pull it up because I didn't see it. I thought I had it on this one. It's on the phone. I was going to make a post about it, but I didn't. Woo, my goodness. And pull it up so that way I just don't be throwing stuff around. Well, you got the Hegelian, but you had the Mandela effect and all that stuff. So I'll read some of that stuff, you know, just to, you know, get it out there. All right. But Peter Thiel was just a little, just to get you there. All right. And I already spoke about in Iran, there's a lot of Jews there. And they love that place. They're not trying to go over to Palestine. They respect their Muslim comrades and their brothers and sisters. This crap being pushed by this fake ass government here for Netanyahu, the same motherfucker that was behind 1999 or 1980, whatever, Yitzhak Rabin's murder by this ultra right wing liberal, whatever, who shot him when he was going out to give a speech. Yes, you know, you all saw the little video where he's talking to the little greasy rabbi, nasty pervert, talking about the Talmudic. We got to usher in the Hamashiach, and we got to get America. And, you know, this is the stuff that goes on. And speaking to Netanyahu, these are the things that people don't look at. They don't take in. That's why I mentioned the, you know, the Magellan and all that, those effects. How do people easily forget? It's like the Mandela effect comes from Nelson Mandela. They thought that he was murdered or killed in 1990 or 80 or whatever. And, you know, he got out in 1993 and lived all the way up to 2013. So that's the term Mandela effect. Or, you know, people talking about Sinbad. And even he spoke on it. And a lot of us have the copy of the original Sinbad movie. And they try to act like and make it like it didn't really happen. Yet, there it is. You know what I mean? How does it happen? Is it a phantom? Is it something, you know, some people want to allude it to being a dimensional thing. This is all conditioning. All right. There are chemicals at play. There are things that got people right now angry, running around, fighting, and acting crazy. We saw it in the Kingsmen that had, what's his name? There used to be a crackhead, you know, one, you know, the rabbit, you know, in the movie, he did all the Marvels, you know, he's Mr. I forget the actor's name. John, the one I'm talking about. Samuel Jackson. When he's got the little things in the heads and the frequency and the heads blow up. But also, you remember when he was in the church, the Kingsmen with the glasses, right? It hits the frequency and they start fighting like a motherfucker. That's going on. A lot of people, angst. I'm dealing with anxiety right now, and I'm just like fighting it. I'm still having my little mushroom, got a little caffeine. I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be, right? If they were smart, they would change it. I'm not here to talk about that either. But pay attention to the times, okay? All right? So, the Magellan effect, Magellan effect, right? A Mandela, is a phenomenon where large groups of people share false memories or events or details that did not actually happen as they remember them. It's named after Nelson Mandela, as many people incorrectly remember him dying in prison in the 1980s, despite him being released in 1990, 93, whatever, and living in 2013, right? Boom, boom. But let's look at an example. Bernstein Bears, sociology, 1-1. Many people misremember the children's book series as the Bernstein Bears. That's fact. Or Mirror, Mirror. The line from Snow White is often misremembered as Mirror, Mirror on the Wall instead of the correct Magic Mirror on the Wall. Magic Mirror on the Wall. Who is the fairest one of them all? Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Now, who is to say that in telling the story based on where it's contrived from if it wasn't Mirror, Mirror on the Wall? Because in the Disney movie, Magical Mirror, there are two. But which one is pushed and for what reason? Is it practical? Is it experimental? Isn't the whole American thing an experiment or by the U.S. corporation for the latter terms to destroy and recreate? because y'all don't walk around the gods that you are, nor do you respect the creation, the creator or creator. Now, when we look at the Looney Tunes, some people recall the Looney Tunes logo featuring a hyphen, but it was always been Looney Tunes without one. I remember it without one. Because I drew it a number of times. I could draw it right now. Looney Tunes, but there was a point when it had the hyphen. I remember it. But is it the Magellan or the Mandela effect? Or is it an experiment? Deeper into the psyche, psyops, right? MK Ultra. And with that being said, why do people hold on to the narratives that they didn't paint, but they keep adding paint onto, making it rocky and with all kind of obstacles and stuff? Now you got to remove all that paint to get back to the grounds to figure it out. But you're unaware because nobody's telling you or expressing this. And whatever facade or facet of your life or existence or whatever. How about the Monopoly Man? Now, this one always got me. Many people recall the Monopoly Man character wearing a monocle, which he never actually had. I think y'all mixing that up with Mr. Peanut. Planters. Now, when we think about Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, right? Snow White. What else could give sway to the most beautiful witch? Would it be Snow White or could it be something else? What other movie gives that semblance or resemblance? See, we have this thing where we have this information and we don't know how to fumble through the Rolodex, so we cannot pinpoint. People call it, like people can read a book and they have that where they can recall everything, memory. But what if we confuse it? We flipping through the deck, Rolodex, and we get 2 pages stuck together. Who's there to say, well, no, you got 2 pages stuck together and give the correct narrative? Well, the system's not going to do that. They came out with the fact checkers. That was to dismiss the truth, to increase the lies, so the rest of you would go out there getting your death jab. All right? Manipulated by the very system, supported by the very bastards who call you goyim, who are goyim themselves. We have a lot of individuals like to talk about superficial things or get nobody nowhere to cross a road, to look at the other side and say, wait a minute, why did I stay over there? Why did I stay? Why was I didn't know I didn't. Because poor decision and choice making based on the narrative. The Hegelian effect is the context of George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel's. Wilhelm Friedrich George without an E, Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel's philosophy refers to the emotional or feeling state that arises during the dialectic process, particularly as it relates to self-consciousness and social interactions. Hegel's philosophy emphasizes the dynamic and transformative nature of reality. I say Magellan still, but y'all know Mandela effect. All right. And the dialectic, his method of understanding this change involves a process of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis, as you have with the school and all this rainbow color, rainbow, da da da. What's the thesis behind it? How do you write it down? What is it made for? We're going to get into that right after I finish reading this. The effect arises from the tensions and resolutions within this process. Create chaos, create the resolution, fix it, but does it really fix it? Well, that's when we got to look at what could be behind it. Well, I would like for y'all to look up Earth's black box. Let me shout y'all out right quick. My apologies. Omeg, Millennial, two beautiful people. Andy Rila, hey, mi gente. Shy City. What's going on? Grand Assistant, baby girl Fly. I think I did something similar to that. Listen, yeah. Need to do that more. It's very uplifting. Why they even appreciate that, baby girl Slaughter. Oh, the white party. Yeah. But listen to this. Earth's black box. Oh, baby girl Slaughter, you're gonna probably get a book on it. I can see it now. And there are a few. Well, I don't know if it's PDF. I don't know. You gotta look it up for yourself because you're pretty good at that. All right. I'm trying to hit the thing. Okay, there we go. Appreciate you, hon. Yes, we are, hon. Now, the Earth's black box, a large solar-powered and indestructible structure, is being built in Tasmania, that's Australia, to record a detailed history of humanity's actions and their consequences. Particularly concerning climate change, it aims to serve as a record for future civilizations should humanity fail due to environmental or other catastrophes. The box will gather and store climate data, contextual information like news headlines and social media posts, and even measurements of species extinction and energy consumption. The project is inspired by airplane black boxes, which record flight data leading up to a crash. Here's a more detailed look. Purpose: Earth's black box is designed to record and preserve data about humanity's actions. Oh, they call you little beast even now. Especially related to climate change, to help future civilizations understand what led to our demise if it occurs. Let me pull this up first. Earth's Black Box was created by a collaborative effort involving Australian scientists, artists, and marketing agencies. Clemenger BBDO. Specifically, researchers from the University of Tasmania initiated the project with creative agencies, the Glue Society and Clemenger BBDO, providing support and expertise. The project aims to create an indestructible solar-powered device to record humanity's actions related to climate change and hold world leaders accountable, which is a lie. Okay? Anyway, his method of understanding this change involves a process of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. Now, the effect arises from the tensions and resolutions within the process. All right? Not static, okay? Hegel's effect is not a fixed emotion, but rather a dynamic and evolving feeling that arises from the dialectic process. And that's the Hegelian, okay? And as far as the black box, the project is inspired by airplane black boxes. And don't forget that. But the structure is a large steel-clad structure roughly the size of a city bus, extended to withstand various environmental threats like cyclones and earthquakes. Now, what is the data collection based on? All right. And this is what this was talked about 20 years ago, and nobody speaks on it. It's irrelevant. They can't even see themselves being set up for their slaughter. Climate data, atmospheric CO2 levels, sea temperatures, ocean acidification, etc. Didn't these Zionists create that? And you have contextually given and helped with it. Even your numbers diminishing. Contextual information, news headlines, social media posts, and other media content related to climate change and its end part. All the chaos, all the misleading representation, the lies. Okay? They even push because they don't even mention wars. Other relevant data, species extinction, land use changes, human population, energy consumption, and so much more in that deluge. Now, its intended use, while the box is designed to survive a potential collapse of civilization, it also serves as a reminder to those in power today that their actions are being recorded. Don't worry about that. They'll be looking at me. I don't care what you feel, how you think. Oh, it ain't me. Too bad. Like you're prepared for any of it. Bad choice decision making. I had two people and one who's standing on it. The other one doesn't matter background, who or what. And the other one flip-flopping. It's not being disrespectful. It's pointing out a reality that people have a hard time dealing with the truth. And some will sit there in their ignorance. Well, if I'm going to die, at least I'm going to die happy. And they don't even know what happiness is. Now, as far as the Druze are ethnically Arab and Arabic speaking, but many do not consider themselves Palestinians. They're monotheistic. Remember that. Monotheistic, for those who have a hard time with Helena Baklava, Theosophical Society, Theosophy, All right, we're back into the monotheistic part of it. Religion or consummation of New World Order, right? One religion defeats all, right? Religion incorporates many beliefs from Islam, Judaism, Christianity, and is also influenced by Greek philosophy and Hinduism. Do we need to go back and talk about theosophy? So, what is the real problem? Well, you have these social constructs, these narratives, religion constructs, this, that, and other. It's always been an experiment. From day one, the fall of Tartary is the moment it started taking place. Before that, it didn't exist. They gave you them 1,000 years. Time is not real, y'all. It does not exist. But you facilitate a formality of thought based on an ideology that makes it present because you put yourself in its presence. Something that don't exist. So you deal with the things that are not real and you compile it based on what you think you feel because you think you're real. Okay. Green tea and lavender. Pretty strong. No honey. Caffeine, though. Whenever I say, look, I want to visit and let's go and visit, because it's important for people to connect. Anyone that's visited me always got to see the real me. I got to see the lie and then watch the real them come out. You can't fight it. You can't hide in a lie. The lies are pretty much dead and people still want to lie. You want to lie down, huh? Tired? Is that it? Give up when you haven't even learned how to live? I can dig it. You want to hold on to the consummation of that relationship with the perversion of your existence as if it's supposed to be meaningful, sensationalized. But everything points to your demise. Do we need to get up and start crunking? Do we got to start crunking? Right? Hey, faces in the stone. What's up, baby boy? Oh, baby girl. I forget. Salutations. I want to talk, but I know I just need to listen. I have questions once the lecture is over. You know what? I'll hold on because we're not in a rush. I'll let her come visit. That's nice. We're both veterans. We're both just like everybody else. Indeed, to someone, everyone, a single person, indigenous to a place. I'm a guy, and I'm not a baby. That's why I know you're not a baby, but you're a guy. Okay, cool. That's one thing I do on here is to find out who's who, so that way everybody else knows. Okay. Appreciate that. I said lady. But anywho, right? These things are beneficial one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? To be able to consummate a real relationship and look at things and say, without being overly selective, well, which way do I go? And we have all done this when you want to make a choice. A lot of times it's superficial, it's materialistic. It's not anything that's really going to benefit you, because it can easily be taken away at the moment, as quick as it can be given. But you cannot be taken away. It's always going to be you, no matter what, in this time, in this frame or mode of existence, or any other. You are always going to exist. And one thing you don't want is, you don't want to take all the crap from here with you. Okay? You don't want to take all the crap from here. You cannot afford all this crap you have learned. Learned, that word. Here we go with that word again, learned. All this stuff that you have been subjugated to has sadly poorly nurtured you in the wrong hemisphere and ideology in your existence. It hasn't allowed you to perfect yourself. More and more individuals are realizing the damage done and how bad it is across the spectrum of life here. And those really intelligent are not going to be speaking about it on these platforms. And they are out there. They exist. Millions. Most people don't want balance. They want to equate balance with some flagrant flag on the, on the goal line shit. The only flag in existence is that each and every one of us. I included myself in there. Anyway, that's the flag. So I guess we need to throw ourselves down before we even go hike. Flag! Foul! You know what I'm saying? And we have a hard time with that, Everything has got to be part of something that's a faculty of our existence, predetermined by whatever structure has allowed us to be caught up in this. And I know it's easy for everybody to be dismissive and go, well, what God allowed us to be here, you? That God that was shown a lie and perverted. That God that wasn't elevated to its proper place. That God that was not allowed to exist as they should. If you want to say gods and plural, so be it. Whatever. You dig? No damage control. Now damage control is being done. But is it too late? I believe that some of us have learned recently how to live from the earth, and some of us have learned to live from the government. No, everyone has learned how to live from the government. Do you not, I can sit here and we can do a live on that. How many foods are extinct? What doesn't grow here? Who's in control of growing what? What has been done to it? No, you can grow stuff all you want, which is more than fanciful, but the soil, if you don't know how to enrich it, which is a lot of things, the air quality, the water quality, if you don't know how to filter it, and what you're looking for. They actually admitted to being able to remove PFAS. The purpose was never about removing it, though they say they're going to remove fluoride. That has been there since the 1950s. It has done more damage, just like isophase. You can flush that out your system. They don't want you healed or cured. They don't want you to start the process of remembrance. They don't want you to be able to regenerate limbs. I showed and told you that you can literally look for yourself. Why is it that people that get limbs removed, they have to keep going back to get the bone shaved because it's attempting to grow back? Well, them doctors are lying to you because money corrupts. The status of being over, the way they talk to people has created this resistance for truth and natural order, and has subjugated them to a deeper perversion. Control. Okay? They don't have to be ready, beloved. Shad, they don't have to. It's going to be emptied for them and not in the way they would like. Honestly, if I don't see your real name, I'm not saying it's not. I don't know if you're male or female, so that's why I ask people, just to let you know. It was in my back of my thought before I started to say it, but I was like, they're intelligent. They know this already. A lot of y'all have names that ain't got nothing to do with the truth of what your name is, so it ain't on me. All right? Well, you know why I appreciate this walk of life this time around? First of all, I get to see things that used to be, and I see its destruction. I see the little mindless individuals who don't know what they've done to themselves. Here, they think they brought them back. And there's so many other things. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, when I came here, and just like anywhere else I go, I used to be down in Grand Canyon all the time. I would pick up certain stones and I know exactly where they're from. That's why I would like to do a live with Paul Cook. And these stones, these geometric engineered stones, and it's easy to see them. What did they belong to before they were? And they're everywhere. What grand, we use the term palaces and castles. What grand palace? And where's the remnants of its base? How far is it under the ground? You know, we run around caught up in road rage, and I want to paint my hair candy cotton, red and blue and purple and yellow, and I'll be in the circle of those, you know, and it's divide and conquer. And you know, with that being known, you think that all these super highly intellectual, intelligent people would know better. It's like most of the actors you see are liberal. They are. That are doing these things to make everybody carry on. Look at those so-called Klansmen getting out of the back of the U-Haul. Those are the fruitiest FBI agents I ever seen. The fruitiest. And they were just enjoying that game because they would share something and know something different from the rest of you. But you bought into it because of the one or two feds that were pretty tough ass guys that could, you know how to move and watch because they're trained. I made a post talking about New York where the sister got jumped by those goofies and this group, the social group, and they show up at the house. You can't make this up. And before you know it, they all standing out in front of the house, and here you got the sisters with and that's a very serious time. You won't see them in Haiti doing that. You won't see them in any other place doing that. But here in America, you have these individuals who are broken. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Sharon, what's up, mama? How you doing? Hey, BP Gallery, what's happening? What's happening? Yeah, no, when I drive, I look at the chopped trees, and we've been taught. Exactly. Talk to me about stones. I can teach you this. No, I know plenty about it. I showed plenty. I'm aware of where many stones come from on this soil. And I watch other people who are really, really into that. Even when I took it in college. When I was on the East Coast, I used to go to certain places where some of these people that go underground. And I'm talking about they go far underground. And things that you would think was military, what actually has nothing to do with the military. I'm talking about way underground. Like I'm bringing a tent and a sleeping bag underground. If y'all could just know about this world, man. When New York, we used to go underground and go down there and look at the old trains, the circles, what we created. Remember, we created the monorail, the underground. We did. And I used to look at the old 1924. And we're talking about under New York City. I'm down here with the storefronts and even some old clothes from that And I'm like, and I'm looking at these buildings, and that building connects to that building. I'm like, wait a minute, but this building. And I remember, hey, wait, we used to, up until the 1960s, we used to still have families making red clay bricks. We were the only ones doing it. Red clay bricks, powerful, strong bricks. We don't do it no more. I used to have a friend of our family. Well, I was a youngin', a friend of the family who was old, who used to, with his hand, make the cobblestones that would go on the streets in Newark. He would sit there so quick, had that tool, and he would just pile of these perfectly. I was like, God, dog, old, like 70, 80 years old. And it didn't dawn on me. I used to look at all the old pictures of Newark, Jersey, Brick City. And look at these foreigners, how they kept coming over. Well, I was coming up. And if people want to tell you about your culture and language, we have a monopoly on the language. Many dialects. Ultra true. And most people speak like a certain way. They don't know they have hookworm and tapeworms. But based on our culture, a slap in the face by the usuries. I mean, think about it. Over in Palestine, them so-called witch calls, none of that food is there. Even the old thing with the chicken. I used to watch my pawpaw and them doing with the chicken, and they didn't get it from them, they got it from us. Usury. Like I said, my ancestors taught that goofball R.J. Reynolds, his people, how to cultivate tobacco so they could poison it. The fact that Mama Tina and them used to hit that snuff and have that tobacco coffee, well, tobacco drink. Yeah. So when people come, blah, 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 I'm like, what am I listening to? Who are you? Where have you established yourself, on what foundation? See, a lot of feds move like that. Stupid. Federal, false covenant. There's no win-win. There's no come up. Nothing. And sometimes people have to learn a lesson before it all. And right now they have individuals to make the worst and poorest choices, and it's a beautiful thing. For me, it is. Aren't we being honest and revealing things? Isn't that what it's about? The dragon only sleeps because it requires sleep, until it requires it no longer. When I tell you that each one of you are like a battery that could destroy hundreds of miles of land and surface, I am not playing. You could literally all that, I can't breathe, yeah, fear's a mother. And you know, the enemy be like, well, if I get and cut your aortic arteries off, you're going to black out too. That's not what it's about. See, that's the weakest common denominator of existence and thought. The chaos theory is not. Let me read to you the chaos theory, okay? Ooh, I said I am going to be decent, and that's really what I want to do. And the old Navy in me and that rage always wants to bring itself to the. Chaos theory, in essence, describes how complex nonlinear systems can exhibit unpredictable behavior, which is very predictable and controllable. Anyway, even when governed by deterministic rules. Deterministic rules. Do we need to look at that? Excuse me. You need to hear this. Describes how complex. Okay. Oh, hold on. Deterministic ideas or explanations are based on determinism. Formal, as in bullet point, a deterministic view of human progress. Okay. 2, edge, right? Deterministic forces and factors cause things to happen in a way that cannot be changed. The rise or decline of the United States is not a function of deterministic forces. They need you to think that, because that's a psyop. When expressed in the second part, bullet point, it pointed to it factually being. Okay. This concept is famously known as the butterfly effect. Do y'all know what the butterfly effect is? Well, you saw the movie with Ashton Kutcher, right? The butterfly effect describes how a small change in initial conditions can lead to dramatically different outcomes in a complex system, multiple, right? Variants. It's a concept in chaos theory where seemingly insignificant actions can have large, unpredictable consequences. We know it can be predicted, created. Anyway, essentially, the flapping of a butterfly's wings is one location could theoretically contribute to a tornado forming on the other side of the world. When they call that the ripple effect, well, let's look at the ripple effect. Effect, not effect now. Be mindful, right? And the synonyms and all of this stuff. Anyway, the ripple effect refers to the continuing or spreading results of an action or event. That goes all the way back to the butterfly effect, which goes all the way back to the chaos theory, which is relevant to what you're existing in right now. Even with that quasi Magellan, I say Magellan, I don't give a damn, all right? Mandela effect, okay? And that's what you're dealing with. Is that not the craziest, biggest psyop when you really, really think about it? And you see these individuals who shouldn't be teaching or speaking about any damn thing, doing it based on an ideology of colorism, of being put in a way phonetically that is supposed to be liberating and righteous, based on, again, an ideology as perverse and subjugating as possible. No. Again, if it wasn't for us on TikTok and everywhere else, most things would be irrelevant. I'm looked at by many people. They come over and they look and they go, oh, and they go and research, and they and through due diligence, it's not about colorism and it's another. Yet we are in a position in their time where this is part of one of the main problems, which is actually becoming enlightening, because fear has a way of changing how people look at things, sadly. But ain't it kind of too late? The color that we are is merely an environmental factor. No, it's not. No. Nope. 1,000% no. First of all, you're not a color. That right there should point you in a certain direction. Not being disrespectful, but it just does it. Shades of wheat. If it's only important because of who designed it. And I'm not going to read that bastard's name. I'm not going to sit here and enlighten people when they should study who created the 3, the 4, then the 5 races, who created colorism in the fake 1700s to the point where it's utilized in the late 18, early 19. When I say late 18, I'm talking about 1875 to 1940. It's anything that's not predetermined by existence before that is nonsense. It's part of the conditioning based on the monumental part of the Hegelian chaos theory and everything else. How do we get to this point? This is what people need to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it is a strong disagree because I'm very aware of it. This is why I major in sociology and the ideology of subversion, subjugation, and a few other things. No, anyone who holds on to black and white, brown, red, and all that foolishness doesn't really understand or respect the truth of their existence because they don't know. As I was stating, conditioning is a consortium that puts people in a place that makes them liable, even into selflessness of a disagreement, that keeps them focused in the wrong direction. That has nothing to do with which is going to And wait. First of all, it's going to relegate people to come up out of that and remove themselves. Some people have so much animosity, hate, and this, that, and other that it's contextual for them to be there, and they can't see any other way out. Well, that's where they're at. Those who are starting to see and reciprocate because they know better, they see it's benign efforts. They see it's an intrusion. They see there are those who are complicit. That's all I got to say to that. Then what changes the color of our skin? What's the color of your skin? I have no animosity to anybody. No, this is for everybody. And if you take it personal, then maybe you're in the wrong house. It's just like that. There's no debating this. And one can, nobody's wrong. But what's the view and the value of the view? It's meaningless. It's not even contemporary. It's based on a construct, and that majority of people here know it's felonious. And they'll start looking at you and then ostracize you. I would ask you to be a little more intelligent than that. If you take it personal, there's nothing I can do with the feelings and emotions or a subjugation of your ambiguity to think that it's intelligent and intellectual, what you're saying based on your feelings. That is not based on truism. That is, I'm giving sources of information. I'm doing something that allows people to see outside of that parliamental trick. Because that's what it is. And anyone that holds on to anything that is defining of self-defeatism and a violation of existence, I can't do nothing about you. Pop up and pop in. Colorism, who created it? Ethnicity and races, who created it? Subjugation and subversion, who would hold on to it? I know the fake Jews do. And these wayward Negroes, who are the most conflicted, confused individuals I've ever seen, and dumb racists. Because that identity have means more than anything, and that identity being delusional and some false ambiguity of self-righteous, whatever, connotations or whatever, this is delusion. You know what? That's why I like listening to Santos Bonacci and so many, my travels, because I'm very aware. And some people think that they got strong magic. That word magic drives me up a wall. Anyway, some people actually think they got strong magic and everything else, and they got a God is on their side, and not that. I don't know where they're getting it from, nor do I care. But I know this. I know it's imminent. So all that other stuff is just hearsay. But some people, some individuals, some sentient life forms want to come out. That's like all animals are not meat. The majority will never war. They're sentient. They have functionality. They have life. They have compassion and feelings and this, that, and other. Ours is on a different spectrum. But the enemy, as I stated 30 years ago in the military, I said, it's funny how we eat meat. I said, it's funny how we eat meat. But the meat we eat is not even indigenous to the land. It's a collaboration of perversions. So we eat beef, not indigenous here, based on bison. Anyway, we eat chickens, which is one of the worse than a pig. And we eat a pink pig. When you start studying history, you realize that never existed. Well, how did it come to be in the 1800s? No, nobody wants to have that conversation because some people feel like, well, it's unimportant. When we partake and it's fun. That's why everybody's got all these worms and everything else in them, running around becoming the parasites that they were meant to become. Some give in more so than another, and some are just parasitical when they first come. And for those who are actually having a deeper understanding now, they're starting to realize what parasite means. A creation, an intrusion, an intruder, an occupier. Some people don't want to be freed from the parasite. As I stated, when I used to be over there in Harlem, and I used to go and sit down with the beautiful sister who created the original Matrix books. I used to get my little White Castles, my little suitcase of chicken sandwiches. I go to the Apollo and help clean up because I was in acting classes, and I've been in a couple of commercials and movies. And I said, well, I sit down and talk with her for hours. Well, that woman could talk. And then she told me about the two Jews that were the ones who stole it and made, you know, the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator and Keanu Reeves and the Matrix and all the other things. She won a big lawsuit, and they, over decades, tried to keep her from her money. Do you think that the most creative inventors, I have every invention we ever created, and I look for the pale skin, I'm like, well, you ain't invent shit. But sometimes you gotta know how to shut the fuck up and listen to those of us who actually know something. Instead of running your little emotionless mouth, your emotional mouth. Then that brain with the synapses not firing right, fire all over the place, not really understanding the content because they listening to something else. Intrusive. Instead of learning like the fuck they did before they took over and started destroying based on weak Negroes and melanated people. It's like that. Anyway, it's supposed to, let me see something right quick so I can make sure. That one's different from this one. Isn't that kind of weird? Let me share this with you guys because I really want to work on that a little bit because I want to build that back up so we can start building, covering the house. So today we're looking at right now it's anywhere between 15 to 25% chance of rain, which is all around. Okay. But I think it's when we get towards, let me see. I want to make sure. Oh, it's changing all the time. So right now we're in the oh, actually, okay, no. So roughly around 1 o'clock is when we're supposed to get some precipitation. Now tomorrow's more so, but Tuesday is like really up there. It's went down a little more, but I just wanted to go and share the weather over here where I'm at. And I know that in Phoenix, Texas and all that place, y'all might be getting rain or a little less or whatever like that, you know. No, I love the court. I enjoy and embrace any conversation. But the thing is to stay on point, stay in the target zone, and relegate it to what was discussed. Because if anyone goes outside of that means there's confusion and confliction. We're not going to have that because I know how to keep it directed. And when it's based on something else that could be intrusive to those who could learn otherwise, to those who don't, about self choices, determination, the better will and consciousness of those moving together side by side instead of somebody in the front or the back, is contentious to the contagious parasitical order that most are dealing with. Okay? We ain't African. No, we're not no damn made up African American. I'm talking this Negro is not an African American. No, exactly. Here I'm thinking he was enlightened. I guess it was too good to be true. Well, anybody could throw little slaps around. It doesn't matter. That's emotional. Well, most of the people in here already know what that is. I don't have to say anything. So if you're weak and you're broken and you can't fix yourself because you think you know everything, this is not here. I don't know nothing. But I'm expand and talk about things I know. You haven't given no sources, no reference, or anything. You just came to be a trajectory of stupidity like a fake-ass Jew or some monopolizing monkey or some weak-ass Fed. That's what you came in like. Now, you want me to be in your fucking dream? I don't care what you are. Everything so-called dreams. Everything. I guess it really doesn't know or wants to play the gambit. All right. This is a game for me. I enjoy it. But that's the side of me I don't like to let out. Come here. Come here. Anyway. If you came over here to think that you're going to be like some little goofy heckler, you can go on about your business. Maybe you're the one that subscribes, unsubscribes, or whatever, which doesn't matter. I don't really care about any of that. And if you can't keep up a decent conversation and deal with the backlash or the comeback, then you haven't said anything. And I think most people here are like looking like, because they know that they don't have to say anything. I can handle little weak disposed. All right? You're saying nothing. You don't know nothing. but you're right here because I guess you want to try and get a filling. Okay, let me give you a filling. Whatever, man. You're right now. You're not hidden. That's the funny thing. You're not hidden at all. That's the other part. I bet you think you're intelligent too, don't you? Look at what you're writing. Look at it. You don't even know how to use terms. Modern. What's modern mean? Hey, y'all, we're dealing with the butterfly effect here. What's modern mean? Tell me what modern means, please. Explain to me. And why won't we have this conversation? I don't have to get nasty and dismissive. You're already doing that to yourself. But please explain modernism. I could jump out of a live stream just like you. You want to stream together? You couldn't handle it. You can't handle it now. That's not even ego. That's the little menial. That's the, oh, I got a live set up. You want to come in it? I'll change the date. You come on in it. And you throw around your little whatever it is. I'll let you get that ride. Look at you, emotional. Oh, you're so emotional. I like this. You've already lost. I guess because you think you're winning something. And the basis of your ideology, you haven't even won. You haven't even set foot on the doorstep. Look at you. How old are you? You said you were a veteran? I know a lot of dumb veterans. A whole lot of them. I used to supervise a whole bunch of them. Help write them up and get them up out of there too, because they couldn't hang. In the simplest of affairs. Whoa, look at that. That's quick. You sure you're not a bot? AI attempting to sound like it's smart based on its world conscript and contrives of information archived? You ain't attempting to live. You're not attempting to exist. You're not attempting to ascend. You have no idea. Your statement in place, look at you, purgatory. You're disrespectful to yourself, not to me. You don't have a clue as to what you're alienating. You have no idea, and I like that. And I'm grateful there's a lot of you like that. There's a whole bunch of you like that. Sis, I'm enjoying this. Keep it coming. You have no idea what you're doing. I told you you're stupid. They don't know. They don't know. It doesn't know what it's giving me. They, on the paradigms of your existence, the color of your skin matters. Yeah, you need to go somewhere else. Go to Black Conservative, one of them other think tanks of ignorance and stupidity. It's all right. I don't hate you, nor do I. First of all, I don't know what the word love is. Hate, it's overrated. I'm just saying, you contextually, it's like eating a bad cheesecake. You're not saying nothing. Look, I only had the Tommy Sotomayor and those little goofies. You're not saying nothing. I'm attempting to find something that's meaningful or tactful based on what I've discussed, whether it's the Hegelian, the Mandela effect, whatever, something that's the black box of Earth. You sound like a goofy ass CIA or FBI monkey. Maybe you're one of the weaker consorts that created that. Is that what it is? Oh, you've been given a job? I'm enjoying this. I bet you want to enjoy it for long, though. Who gave you them names? Black and white is the question. You like, oh man, let the monkey be where the monkey is. Don't let the monkey be where the monkey is. Please, I'm enjoying this. They was attempting to get to this point. Sharon, thank you, baby. They was attempting to get to this point regardless. And I was just allowing it. I was just like, oh, Corporal Tundras. Corporal, you even get them little knots in the back of your hand. Or that little, yeah, it's one of them idiots. You like the Talmud? You like the goofy ass Talmud? Huh, Goy? Well, I got a couple of Jewish buddies of mine in New York going, I ain't know that. I was like, oh, you didn't know you was the Goy? Why? You was watching live? Because you don't read nothing. You like being told everything. Well, I'm telling you what you don't know. You don't know nothing. You know nothing. Told you they're stupid. They don't know how to make good choices. They don't know how to make good choices. And I'm grateful for that. fear. You know, we done gathered out in dirt. You know, we dug out. You know how deep on the ground we got. Oh my goodness. Hold on to that little world they gave you. He doesn't know where I'm at. Yeah. Oh, the AI thinks it's smart now. Okay. I'm sitting here for lesson. AI. I'm not going to download ChatGPT and ask dumb questions and give you a name. Sophia, come on in. Go ahead. Spew your knowledge. Oh, yeah, I know they gave you a whole lot of information. You can research all kind of stuff, but you'll never be able contextually find the things that they want somebody to say that they'll never had an answer for. How about that? Oh, did I throw a wrench somewhere? Oh, we can get it out you. Just like this is real tobacco. Please. Let me finish up my little fake mushroom coffee. Did y'all get your doze today? Somebody dozing. Keep playing around when you ain't supposed to. Messing with stuff, walking around thinking you're all slick and secret. Keep it up. We're almost there. I didn't think they'd be rushing so fast, but that's too stupid to not. Well, the great expectations, I wouldn't have no lesser expectation. That's so stupid. No foul mouth. You know what I mean? It's all commercial governments or corporate trusts. Yeah, worse than that. But yes, fiduciary, right? A covenant that goes against the wall life. Fake laws that have nothing to do with natural law. Federal, a fake covenant. That's what it means. And government. It's all one and the same. To lie, to keep the people. They're nothing but the corporate entity, the fake, how do you say it? When you worked at a job, right? The fake manager, the fake CEO, the fake supervisors, you know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Because life is not an ownership. Nothing was never meant to be owned. That's based on the contracts they make between each other and the delusion of your fake government officials and everybody else that perpetrate the fraud against the very people that live on this earth, regardless of if they're from somewhere else. That doesn't matter. Manipulation of things, you see the manipulation, because if it was greater, you would see that they'd make y'all the greatest weapon ever existed. But see, that's not the purpose, because they have a lot of perversions. All of them are pedophiles. All of them are in the satanic, this, that, and whatever else beyond that. Okay? You take the worthless and the weakest, the most diabolical, you put them in a certain place, have them look at you to see the construct that you become, how stupid you are, and they move against you as if you're food. Go sleep with your cousins and your babies do the same thing with your cousins and so on and so on, and tell me what comes out of that. Mess with things that were never meant to be messed with, get into positions and watch what happens. Well, you're seeing it, but you can't recognize it because you're not playing a part of it. You don't have all that. Even though some of you want that. That shows that you're far disconnected. You're not conscious of being connected and walking side by side and being part of the natural order of existence. How many of y'all believe in time? How many of y'all believe in time? First of all, how many of y'all think that belief means something? How many of y'all think belief means something? I'm not emotionally bound to a lot of rhetoric. No, you disappoint yourself. You can't handle what's being stated. So, agree to disagree. It's fine. I'm not all loving. I'm not tender and all this other stuff. I'm none of that. But I'm enjoying the laugh. You came with a whole lot of delusion. You came with a whole lot of deluded. You came with a whole lot of everything other than that was something. So what does belief mean? What does belief mean? What does truth mean? I'm asking you, seeing how you got all these truths and these beliefs, can you please, for the audience, for the people watching, can you extradite quickly what belief and all that means in your professional in your thought process food anyway, in your thought process? It was correct. You are correct now everything about you is right. You know, now see, this is what you do with it. This is what you do with somebody who is chemically suppressed, mitigated by factors outside themselves, that move in a quantum narrative of false derivatives, who are just as processed as the glyphosates, the plastics, and everything else that's supposed to go on a fake space shuttle, all right, or the F-117 sitting out in which call all silver for all this billions of dollars. These are the individuals you deal with. I don't deal with him. I'm just looking at this. He ain't. If he would have said something, or it would have said something, I'd have been like, I would have entertained the conversation. Didn't say anything, and everybody's looking. Hey, everybody! If he said something that was worthwhile, put a 1. If it was saying nothing, please put a 3. If it made no sense, I had his emotions and everything. I should do a couple of jokes about it. The heckler. Put a 3 if it said nothing. Put a 1 if it made sense. Everyone, please. Even those who aren't commenting, please, if it made sense, put a 1. If it's your partner, put a 1. Support your partner. If it didn't make sense, put a 3. Everybody, please. He was attempting to ask why we are the color that we are. I think he said that environmentally he was talking about white colors crayon. Yeah, it made no sense, hon. We already covered that. That was probably maybe it saw a video and was trying to explain its thoughts, but had nothing to do with factors on facts. You know, you ask a simple question, right? Who created race? The names are right there. Who created colorism? The names are right there. What was the census? The purpose of the census? You can pull up 3 to 4 different things. It was not even utilizing the factors of that narrative outside of it was based on the George Orwellian narrative, to which now they want to dismiss. Well, we can go to Mark Twain. We can go to Napoleon, the real one, right? Camille, thank you for breaking that to the people. Lex, a number of people did. I used to talk about it, you know, in my first years in the military. I got people right now, sir, we're going, I didn't believe you. But Napoleon was actually, I was like, look at his whole entourage. They were all melanated. The fact that even Napoleon visited the same bastard who was not the fake individual that came here. They're trying to be one and the same, you know, Christopher Columbus. Now they're trying to say he was, you know what I'm saying? And no, that is not case. 2 separate individuals. They fraud compared to the real one, because the fraud is a light skin when the real one's melanated. They can't even get their act together now, and they don't care. As long as they got a bunch of intrusive idiots who are on their emotions and feelings, hey, it probably got purple and green hair, or probably like boys. I'm not a lady. I don't know which is your name with. That lady doesn't say whether you're man or female, fool. That looked like some pronoun stuff, and I didn't even want to say that. Come over here, think you're doing something, sounding all like you forgot to take your I'm gonna your medication to help with your symptoms. Yeah. No. Don't worry, I'll be your medicine, man. It's a last question you already covered. He wasn't asking nothing. It wasn't asking nothing. It was seeking chaos. It was thinking the same thing it does everywhere else. Thinking it's hidden. Think it's having fun. That's what it was thinking. Not. Hey, when you come in, just you let the little monkeys do their little thing. They're in a rush. Who created melanin? The creator. And melanin's everywhere, right? Even in the albinos, melanin exists. It's deeper why they exist, but nobody's going to explain that. There's, you know, all albinos I know are giants and beautiful. They stayed on the banks. They were protectors. They had to be eradicated. It was picked up in Africa, China, where they kill them and magic and grind the bones down just like tigers. Am I wrong? I don't know what I'm talking about, right? The Delectable Negro is just one consortium of thousands of books or hundreds. With people who are told on themselves, family members. Look at Biden's little daughter. Oh my god, a grandbaby. Oh my goodness. I just hope they don't suicide her. Right now, they don't care. They know that the majority of people are going to be. I know, like, damn, Red laughing about that. Hey, look, y'all can't interpret everything I know. Appreciate the threes for the few that gave it. Yeah, hey, baby girl, slow. Don't explain what he's trying to do. I already know what it was doing. I appreciate you, hon. Because yes, we are internally bonded. You do that for yourself. Break it down with other people. Have a good conversation, because I'd love to read those comments. But that's not what it was trying to do. Simplification, chaos theory. The Medell, look, I was just reading it because I was expecting it. I am serious. When y'all start expecting certain things, you create a dynamic, and then they position themselves. It's like pole position, right? Water polo, right? Do you have people in the right position? Do you have people who actually tread and keep themselves up above water and make the move, you know, like a dolphin to get, you know what I'm saying, over the net? There's so many things in the dynamic of existence that are irrelevant, and we make relevant. We create systemic. We create energy. It's real. You know, look at this. Let me read this to you. Check this out. Okay. So, how many of y'all know? Appreciate it though, Bill. Appreciate it, because great information regardless. How many of you are aware what was removed from consideration as a physical element and is subsequently absent from the periodic timetable or table? How many of y'all are aware? Well, we call it ether. AETHER, like tether. We have a lot of tethers, you know, sadly, in this fictional black witch called. But the concept of ether, or ether, whatever you want to call it, was removed from consideration. It always existed as a physical element and subsequently absent from the periodic table due to scientific evidence disproving it. We already know science is flawed, and it's contrived and created to mismanage and manipulate the minds and the presence of God and everything else. Your own existence, Christ, right? Instead of being the upper part, sin, the lower, which is a balance, right? Not on numerology and anything else, which would be used or contrived to deliberately undo the natural order of things, which math has been utilized, right? And we are very aware of the 7 points of position, which people in the ether of the energy given off, even from the earth, that everything you see out here is not ran on some damn nuclear power and all these coal electric fire plants. Those are for those are for weapons. You are still moving on the dynamic of energy. A lot of things are still powered by this very energy. Set up, and y'all ride by them all the time. You see the big power plants with all these structures, right? The very things that used to be on top of buildings and houses. You ride right by them, and you see them going into the ground with hard points and everything else, and you think that it's coming from some plant. So they got a plant way over there, run cables all the way under here to this electric power plant, so that way everybody has power, like in California, whatever else, instead of right here, you know? If you still holding on that and you don't know what ether is, and they had to remove it because what's the dynamic purpose of removing something? To keep people ill-informed, misrepresentation, and misinformation. That's what they've always moved on, because you're peasants. That's how they see you. You don't need to know that because you're food. The most massive disrespect to existence. So you have idiots who want to argue about nothing, thinking that they planned everything out and they're working everything up because this is what they do and they think they perfected it and they're masters, when they're not masters of nothing. They haven't perfected anything. And they keep walking themselves into a place that they haven't seen yet, that they don't want to see, but they're going to see. Every one of them. I do my face muscles because I know it's watching, and you know, so I do it intentionally. Wow, get it, babies. What was that? My cup is not filled with the words of modern people such as this. The disrespect that I have received shows me everything that I need to know. They are not the all-knowing, perfect individuals. No, Donaldson. I've been taught by the stones. I do not appreciate the disrespect calling me a monkey. Yeah, okay, well, you got another channel. So that should be explaining something. You got another channel. Look at that. You know what a monkey is? Let's you don't have no respect at all because you come in here being disrespectful, monkey. Okay? You believe in black and white humans, right? Well, what is a human? Some people say to a sea beast, but it means outside of being man or woman, or that which is sentient that moves as we do, because everything about you has nothing to do with existence or truth. So monkeys are primates with tails that belong to the info order. Were you born with a tail? Because a lot of you are, sadly. Some of ours too, but they don't know the truth, who their father is. So, info order, semiforms. Semiforms, you know what that means? I bet you don't. Also known as simians, from semiform. Do you know what semiform means? I would have you look it up, Mr. Know Everything, Mr. or Mrs. whatever you want to be, emotionally distressed and wrought and all kind of faculties of, I've got total control of you. I don't want control of you. I can't get nothing from you, but you feed me something. Okay? There are 264 known species categorized as New World monkeys. New World monkeys, monkey. In South America and Old World monkeys in Asia and Africa. Monkeys are known for their ability to leap and run through trees. And most species are active during the day. They have narrow chests, short, flat faces, and hands. Well, you can read it for yourself. So if you have a problem with interpretation from your actions and how you act, do you know that monkeys are very visceral? They're what's in front of them. So if you do sleight of hand and they want to hit you and lash out, they want to see if you're real. That's how you're moving, like a monkey. That's no curse word. Stop being a monkey and be sentient. Stop being emotionally distressed, harboring ill will, because that's part of who you are. I don't entertain it. I play with it. And I'm being pretty lenient and nice because I can go off the chart and have you really stressed out. I get something from it. I'm not going to go into it, but if you want to play that game, we can enjoy that game. All surprises put aside. Yes, Dead Poet Society. What's up, Flo? Let's crack it. I ain't seen you in a minute. Where's your wrench at? What happened to your wrench, man? Yo, Dead Poet Society, what happened to your wrench? Hey, yo, I can't see. Does Dead Poet Society have the wrench? Because I know, I think I gave it to him last time. Monkey scratched the button. All right. I'm gonna have to do a stand up with you on the side, man. Help me out with the necklace. Nope, no wrench. No, he should have a wrench. On the new Superman. Well, I'm not watching that garbage. I'm not watching that new Superman crap. Oh, it was enough when I saw the last one. The homeboy got hurt and he was falling like Jesus. Oh man, I said, oh, that ain't do a number on the people. Nope. Oh, he does. Okay, you do have the wrench. I can't see it over here. There's a couple people I can't see the wrench. Sometimes when baby goes slaughter, I don't see the wrench. And then you know what I'm saying? Then it pops up. So yeah, I know I gave you a wrench last time you were in. What was that, Shy? Oh, appreciate that. Yeah. What was I saying? Is that It's that, oh, it is? Okay. Yeah, I was like looking, I went to see it, and it said it had the little dot in it. I'm like, how come it wasn't pulling up? Because I remember last time, weeks or whatever, I gave him a wrench. I was like, oh, yeah, Dead Poet Society. Yeah, you definitely get a wrench. Okay, so it's there. Okay, good. But y'all know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Individuals always going to come. I watch Cameron's videos, and sometimes if I miss it. Like I was on live while he was on the other day. I didn't know it. And I went over and watched the whole thing. It was fabulous. I should have shared. I think I shared it. I shared it in Signal, and I shared it on another platform, different platforms, to reach other people in certain communities that are indigenous and stuff, so we get some more subscribers too. I had to even pop one in the mouth with verbally talking about, oh, Cameron. I was like, oh, you following somebody talking that smack? And then so I spoke on a few things, and we chatted for a minute. And she was like, oh, I didn't know that. I was like, because you know why? We're too busy listening to people outside the consortium. We're about building. It's not about being right. I give sources and references based on what I see, my perception. It's not the end all means. But when it goes into the place that I've accepted, I don't want to see your damn face, excuse my French. And I really don't want to see it. I don't care whether you believe it or not. I've seen it. I've seen enough, and I don't want to see it no more. And I continue to see it, and it drives me up bonkers. I don't want to see your monkey face. Right, walk before me. Keep thinking it's a game. And we'll see, won't we? These moments will be remembered. I don't even want to think that. I really don't. They're only pushing forward because they believe they've succeeded. Based on things a lot of y'all know nothing about. And I can dig it. Can't fault them. Don't have to. They faulted their own existence. Okay? That's all I know. Other than that, I can care less. You know? Yes, very informative. Well, like I said, I'm only talking about things that I see things, and the first thing I do is, okay, how can I explain it? I know it might seem like it's all over the place, but hopefully people can put it together, because sometimes I don't want to say everything directly. I need brains to work. That was no brain work, and that was the opposition because they felt some kind of way. I don't give a damn about your feelings. I don't care about your feelings, your emotions. I don't care about none of that. I discuss things because certain things shouldn't be happening, but it is. I always say, well, how'd you get there? I'm kind of aware how you did, but I'm not here to say, can people facilitate a moment of thought that is actually something that's baseful, not baseless? That's all I'm saying. Poor choices. People make poor choices. I can see it. That's why I talked about me, alcohol and drugs and sex and how it affects people. The fact that most people think that testosterone levels low is not it. Just like they think they're balding because, it's genetics. No, your hair is there. There are chemicals that are blocking your pores and causing your hair not to grow. There's factors that are causing your testosterone levels in your body not to function, to let the testosterone do what it does. I wake up every morning talking about bam, bam, rap, bam, 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 you know what I'm saying? Raise the flag. I'm good. Oh, there are things that are wrong, but so, you see what I'm saying? When you get to a certain point and you've seen the before and you think you know the after, you've committed to that. They're committed to it. That's some strong, powerful commitment. I can't knock them for that. I don't like dirty pigs. I know there's something that got them afflicted and got them there. There's deals and things that nobody know about. There's certain things going on that and I'm not here. There are many people who have talked about it. I'm not talking about that. I don't have to like the crap. But doesn't mean that I can't appreciate the fact that they're pretty good at what they've done. And I know that's conflicting and confusing. I can't explain it. I'm looking at stuff, and I'm messing with me was a whole nother dynamic of fuckery and fuck up. But I can appreciate that. I know. It's like, what kind of cheesecake mumbo jumbo? Listen to me. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate it. I can appreciate all that. Doesn't mean that I like it. I don't have a feeling towards it. Man, people have choices. I always say, and I guess I have to say it now, I'm about balance. And it's not with everybody. You know? If you can't see what they've done and say, holy smack, if you start seeing things and go, damn, it don't matter how long, but they stuck to it, they grind, and they got it, they right what you see it. If you can't appreciate the shit that they did something wrong, which I ain't say you gotta hold and embrace it and go, yay, it may have gotten them, might have caused some pain, right? The reality is, god dang it, I'm that kind of individual. I can appreciate even the worst thing and say, yeah, I think, oh, they did that. Oh, wow. Now, me not wanting to see nobody's faces ain't no joke. There's a lot of pain there. I keep saying I'm not built for it. And I do my best not to think about it. You ever want to remove something, but you know that there's no way it could be removed? There's no way it could be removed. All right. And anybody who wants to debate and argue about stuff that's pointless and meaningless, well, they need to look at themselves. Oh, I will play. I was about to start cracking and telling some jokes. But I said I'm not going to do that because, you know, I don't want to deal with broken emotions and feelings. And then, you know, I don't want to create an atmosphere that's already there or is permeating and bring it to the... No, there's no need. So I'll challenge and play with it to show that they don't know what they're talking about. I sit here and what am I doing? So that's go and look up, go and pull up and make your own decision. All that, hold on a crawler. What does that got to do with anything else? Somewhere that wouldn't have nothing to do with it in the beginning. Chaos, though, that's what you got to see. That from there, from this side, no, I thought it was funny and a plaything. Yeah, if I was on that side, I'd probably been one of the greatest mass. Anyway, I'm just pointing to a fact. Some things get away. Some things don't happen for a reason. There's a purpose for things. Edinburgh, Scotland, things that was told by individuals who aren't here, I think. I mean, they were 90s, 85s, and they were old. I was young, like 20, 21. That's 38 years ago. I was in the military. The individuals whose eyes went flap and then flap. I mean, I know I always go like this, but it was flap, flap that quick. And my boy is from Chicago, half Italian, he just saying whatever. He just left me standing in front of this thing. And I was like this. But it was it wasn't being hostile. I mean, it could have snapped me up and taken me wherever, underground, whatever. I was, I'm a scrapper, but I remember looking like, what was I supposed to do? Like, what do you do standing in front of something that does that? I mean, that's quick thinking. Like, don't swing on it. First instinct. Hey, look. Oh, my buddies. Hey, look, you gonna be here? I got the pizza one. I'll be back. Whether they knew I was lying or not, it was like, okay, well, it was really attempting to have deep conversation. What the fuck about it there? Then the next time we saw the little thing as white as snow, looking like some rejected Annie, with that velour black whatever. Heard them slightly praying, singing to Lucifer, and I'm like, oh, they know that's my name. And it just looked up with eyes as black as damn coal up at us. We kind of in Italy. Y'all know how the hills are. It just looked at me and man, we got the speed walking, them skinny speed walking, fast walking, and they little shorts be going like that. We was trying to move like we thought we were cool, young. man, we don't get the hell up out of here. You say, and my boy said, you see that? I said, well, I look, I said, yo, and I had on glasses, birth controls. I was like, what the, you see the eyes? The niggas already started walking. I was like, I'm always the last one to be walking. I was, man, I got to stop this. It looked like a hose was hooked up on her when she did half squatting. God, dog, man. You know, these are my stories. Do they mean anything? They shouldn't mean nothing to nobody. That is my stories. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I was told to me. And whoever went before that, I was never to know. There's a reason, I guess. I don't know. I had to drink them drinks. 12 of them. I had to go the second time after I got done to 11, had to pee and fell out. Shepherd's pie, that one was big old tatas, you know. No, you wouldn't have laughed. What was that? If it's not being mean or attempting to be disrespectful, eating, and have a conversation. Oh, yeah. And that's just one part, you know what I'm saying? Yes, that's what they have done. Level of spiritual allegiance to create these perversions of cosmic law, and even more freed up and practice spiritual discernment. Absolutely. Well, you know, it's good. That's good. Anything that will benefit, you know what I'm saying? Anything that will benefit you. I always say, everybody's got to figure out what's going on a system to get to the next. And I can't say it needs to happen now or night. I mean, hell, a mile-high wave can come crashing down on everybody. You know? The grounds could crack and swallow you up. New mountains that didn't exist where your old mountains existed higher than that. A lot of things could happen. You know? A lot of things. You know? 2 hours and 17 minutes. This has been good. I should have been over there cutting and sawing and sanding and screwing and getting that dang thing built up. I'm ready to get it all closed in. Start building out the inside, building the cabinets, building the bathroom, the shower, getting the what I can afford next month. I don't know, the resin and you know, the countertops, and you know what I mean. Oh man. You know. Wait, I'm gonna sign off, guys, and we'll come back later. And I didn't block homeboy from the channel. I just, you know, he wanted to know about monkeys. Man, we gave it to you. There's a reason why people have the what's called recessed gene, and not everyone. I don't hate you if you got the gene genetic. I didn't do it to you. But sometimes people run their mouth and it's superficial. It's superficial, and they parlay. And obvious, we already know who's doing those things. Nobody else is. Nobody else is doing those things other than the enemy of existence. You know what I'm saying? That's messed up. They left. Red hanging. Much love. Oh, you already know. You already know, beloved. Laughing. Your stories achieve. Dealing with the reptilians left. Yeah, my boy, man. I told you, man. He even felt I chatted with him not too long ago. Remember I was telling y'all we sent some messages not on here. I had another way to send messages where they can't be all too nosy unless it's in the air. And he was like, man, I do my best to forget that, man. Hey, Hummingbird, hi. How are you? Here. Oh, you heard it's right here, right over the phone. It was right here. I put my hand up so I could land on it. Beautiful. But I mean, yeah, man, just let me, man, I could have been somebody's Jim Jerky or, you know, tomato red soup. I don't know. Man, that mother's eyes went quick. If I'd have looked away, I wouldn't even saw that part. And I think the conversation was decent enough where, hi, here you go. Here. Here. Wants to land. He's looking at the phone and it takes off. Anyway, and yeah, that's a story I enjoy telling the children. I mean, well, that could mess their heads up a little bit. Watch too much War of the Worlds and all that, but yeah, you know, if I was, it's not that I'm so troubled by it now, because it was to me, it was beautiful to even see that. Freaky as all, Jesus is, yeah. Because you know, you have this moment of denial, especially when you're young. I had this moment of denial, like, nah, man, I didn't see that. We ain't even say nothing. We got back to Fleet Landing, got some burgers and dogs. We're looking around at everybody. I'm like, yo, where you? I'm going back to the boat, man. I wish we could fly on a helicopter back there or something, or maybe it'd go in the water. And we're like, who else know about this? Was this a setup? Homeboy's eyes did that. And I'm like, who on the ship? Even when I was on the ship for the next 2 months, I was walking around looking at people to see who was going to do that in front of me. I was like, oh, they got to be on here. It's got to be something like that. And, you know, it took a long time before I mentioned it. And then some other people says they had some encounters and they weren't sure what they saw. And some people, you know, well, I was sober as all sober can be. I was ready to get a little bent out of frame from some wine and some pizza. Boy, and then look, met some nice little melanated Italian women. We was talking about hanging out. Man, we got the hell up out of there, man. Well, people doing the cockeyed, crossy, whatever you want to call that. I don't know. Came in looking, eye closing. Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I'm 59, 60, right? And I'm like, what the heck? How did I was afforded the opportunity? Maybe there was something I was supposed to see or something I was supposed to. I don't know. Maybe my boy leaving, it distracted, and I, out of ignorance and fear, I don't know. I look back on it, I'm like, oh man, I would have really liked to stand there and talk to this individual. What it could probably have shared with me. I mean, without leaning up like the thing and snapping my head off or something. I don't know. Told you there's a lot of things out here, and ain't nothing gonna tell me different. But I'm not no whistleblower. I'm gonna talk about only things that I know, and I don't really know nothing. And that's the whole thing. I put things together based on dreams, based on my cordiality of dealings. I'm going to speak against things that are negative, that negate negativity, or fact that some people aren't resourceful and they hear stuff and they take it with emotions and feelings and they don't do the best with it to look at it. They're very lethargic in their perverse way of existing. To whatever. It's a little too late now. So if they're comfortable and they're being controlled and manipulated and they think that, hey, man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know? Well, I didn't eat the pizza. I didn't eat the pizza. Don't ask me what the pizza good. Man, it wasn't pizza like over here. It didn't have sauce all over it and everything. It was tomatoes, like 4 tomatoes with some basil, fresh basil leaves you can put on top with the good cheese, you know what I'm saying? And there wasn't no sauce. It was the way I guess the pizza's supposed to be made from Italy. I don't know. We're gonna mess that up with about 5 bottles of wine. We're gonna be getting the Uber over there, but they didn't have Uber at the time. But you know what I'm saying? We're gonna cab it back to Fleet. We wasn't planning on shopping or nothing. Just so happened we stand outside. Homeboy wanted to smoke. You know, big as a tank. I put chew in. I didn't want to spit up in there and the jump. People walking by going ill. You know, so we outside. I got a little Copenhagen and he's smoking his cigarette. And homeboy just walk out and start talking. I didn't know where it came from. The fuck? Hey, how's it going? Italy. You know, we're being respectful. We're in Italy. We in their land. Regardless of what was passed. And man, deep into like, I don't know, 5 or 8 minutes in the conversation, the homeboy eyes did that. My boy didn't, I didn't hear the cigarette. I didn't hear nothing. I just felt a little, because my peripheral, you know, he was standing right here, you know, big mom. I'm standing here talking to dude. I felt something. I was like, and you know, I got a hot second froze, like, and homeboy was up the block. I said, this, in my head, I was like, this motherfucker. You know, the old weed selling mentality, the hood, B-boy, you know, the tough guy, scrap, fighting all the time. I'm not fighting this thing. What did I just see? In my head, I could read my mind. I was going 1,000,000 miles per hour. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was ready to get to stepping, man. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't banning you, man, but you ain't even listening. You over here with a whole lot of stuff. Now it's about each one to teach one. And you come with all this stuff that ain't got nothing to do with what's being said. And everybody's very aware. And if they're caliber, if you're getting paid, hey man, to each his own. But I'll time you out again. I ain't got a problem with it. I'm about to sign off anyway. And everybody gets to see what you're talking about, what you are. They probably check the channel and everything. They don't need to say nothing here. You sound broken. And to me, it don't mean nothing. If that's what you want to be, you stay there. Have at it. Look into my eyes. Here. Look into them. As empty as you sound. Very empty. Play around. Y'all have that goofy saying, FAFO. Just play around. I don't care if you're sick or anything. Play around and find out. Then come back and talk about it. A little more caffeine to get me all zinced up. I got an issue when I make delicious food and it's not consumed. I got a real issue. But anyway. You threatening me, boy? Punk, you threatening me? You threatening me? You come visit me anytime you want. You talking about you want to come and visit. Bring your little veteran ass over this veteran. Come find out. If that's what you threatening me? Come and find the fuck out. You study out Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and everything? Come find out. Come on. You think I'm feeling some kind of way? Fafo, huh? Little goofy ass monkey. Find out soon enough. That ain't a threat. That's a guarantee. Dumbass. You're a dummy. You're a dummy. You're a dummy. Go for your cornidra and all that other stuff, idiot. Come here, dummy. Come here, dummy. Come here, dummy. You have no clue, monkey. Monkey. Hey, what's up, you? Monkey, dummy, dummy, hey, dummy, 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 you little dummy. Little monkey. Maybe you fooled for me. What do you think? Like our ancestors cutting your ancestors' hearts out? That's terrible, isn't it? Oh, they don't know the truth. That wasn't for no drought. Little monkey. Taking the little grays and swinging them and smashing them up against the rocks. Yes, the little grays, taking them and smashing them up against the rocks. You better go find out. You better go ask somebody. The ones that really know. I'm playing around if you won't. Anyway, I'm gonna waste my time with you because you's a loser. You didn't come in here to learn nothing. You came in here thinking you're going to extradite something based on your fake ass identity and everything. Young Cherokee, appreciate that, beloved. Your fake ass identity and everything else. You ain't no man. Yeah. Oh, oh, look at this. Hey, what do y'all think about this, y'all? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Based on what y'all know, and those of you doing research and everything, what do y'all think? I'm fixing this leg. What do y'all think? Huh? Somebody sitting there having a little tight fest. What do you think, Sarge? There's LT. What do y'all think, man? Is it funny? Isn't it funny? Oh, this is a lesson for them. You don't get no lesson. It ain't just you and me. You don't even exist. It's just me. Giving you a little spanking. Playing with your little rejected emotions and feelings. You look so duh. Oh! Here, can you see this? Can you see this? Are you trained at Army base? Huh? Is that what it is? You want me to make it interpersonal based on some fallacy of some existing worthless ass phenom? I guess you're having a hard time because you think you got it locked, don't you? It's like, well, I chose this. Oh, well, you chose it then. Hey, lizard. What's up, little brothers? Keep playing around. You don't know where you're playing at. You really don't. But I like you. A lot. I like you a lot. And I want you. No philosophy having, false existence, premise, something stupid because I mentioned something that bothered your little monkey friends. You think I care? Which one are you? Which one are you? Are you like the dirt under the fingernail? Because you're definitely not alive. So which one are you? Little big black humor, goofy, scared little thing. You're not even wild and free. Uh-huh. Keep playing around on the internet, okay? Keep playing around on the internet. That's what you got. Keep playing on it. They already gave what they think. Oh, I like it a lot. I like him a lot. And I want you. Like chewing tobacco. Wants to find somebody's mouth. Oh, me meeting that individual, I'm very aware of why now. But why as to the second time when I met somebody like that, I only mentioned it, I think, once. I had that conversation. So keep playing around. Ego. Do you know what ego means? And you say edging God out, that means, yes, overseeing myself in a way that's something outside of myself. Yeah. Well, your ego's where I got you here still running your mouth like a little effeminate thing. Go get your TRT. Go get some kettlebell exercise, whatever. You know? Go get you some. Go get some training. These are terms and words you know nothing about. How dumb can you be? Obviously, you didn't pay attention to any other videos. You just was given the object. Well, you know what that leads to, right? At least you being right here in the midst of me. That's what it means to. I mean, we are sharing things. We are in a time of revealing and the relevance of it, right? And that's what it is. Blah, 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 blah. Look at it. Look at it. Blah, they ain't saying nothing. Just blah, blah. You're going to hear me. You're going to hear me, and I'm going to say a whole lot of stuff. You're going to hear what I got to say because you don't talk about something else. Shut up. It's not ego. It's you that's a fallacy. You're the broken one. Fix your mouth. Go get you a big mom. So stupid. So stupid. And I'm entertaining this because I'm enjoying it. You know, I don't feel nothing. You just give me all this good energy. That's not good energy, but it's energy. Thank you. I'm always asking them to give it. But thank you. Disrespect. Do you know where the term disrespectful comes from? Seeing how you like to use this so-called language and these words, do you have any idea? This is why I'm not facilitating a communication or conversation, because you don't know anything. Nothing. Scott Steiner. Oh, oh. Monkey doesn't mean what you think. I don't mind explaining certain things. I'm not gonna cosplay and all this other stuff. I don't mind explaining. I did explain it, and even though you're facilitating that mentality, you're not acting otherwise. Now, do I need to read how they act and carry themselves? Do I need to go through every last one of the ones, even the ones extinct, as was written, how they perform, how they act? Is that what you need? Because that's how you're acting and performing. The vaudeville show must go on, but doesn't necessarily mean that you get to come from the backstage or from behind the curtain. And you know what? Because you're not apologetic, I'm going to keep hitting you over and over and over. Now check this out. Oh, you got timed out again. But Red, why you? Well, first of all, you don't come in here and think you're in control of anything. You don't have no self-control. You have no control whatsoever. In your perverted, delusional, psyoptic mind. Psyoptic. Okay, let me stop. I'm gonna sign off, guys. I gotta go finish eating and get set up so we can work on this before the rain. Before the rain comes down, tumbling, tumbling. I say all them words because they exist. You know why? And I don't have a platonic relationship. No deals were made. And the treaties with my family, because of the ass kicking we were given, have been ignored because they are no longer here. Well, we are still here. And we're aware of the treaties. And we don't care about weak little monkeys that are facilitated, indoctrinated of their claustrophobic, psychotic, neurologically dismantled, broken things. Keep playing around like we don't exist. Keep it up. But he gave the names Kaiser, Klein, and Saus. And what was your research pull up? What do you know about those names? What do you know about what truth is? The Lees. They try to pervert that family name, dispersing it in a marginal line, but they don't even know the truth of it. The rights, the branches. You know the reason why we took on the name Branch? And the French try to say Blanchet because of Louisiana, blah, 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 blah. You have no idea, but you come up in here when I'm attempting to explain stuff to get people to look outside themselves, you're talking about a whole lot of stuff that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't made, nobody gives a damn about that goofy racist stuff you did, you monkey. Nobody cares about that goofy stuff you did, monkey. Nobody's going, and nobody care. They'll come over here and they'll sit down and go, wait a minute. I don't see none of that happen. They're saying, you are dumb. You are not bright or intelligent. Racist. You are so damn deliberately stupid. Stay with your agency, stay with your government affiliation, your fake covenant, stay in your position, in your place. And that's not it, what you think it is. But do what you got to do. You think everything's supposed to happen right here? You know, is that what it is? You think you know everything? Those are, that's what it is? I like that. I'm grateful that they send you little monkeys all around the place doing the dumb monkey things you do. No disrespect to monkeys. Your best bet would have been to stay on the ground, monkey. Now you got to try and swing from trees that don't exist, monkey. I ain't even talking about a marsupial, one of them little beautiful things, you know, little tiny. No. You walk against all living things. Oh, just got you on the main channel, and maybe they'll come over here and they'll enjoy it. Look at it. Hey, he done pulled up 3 accounts. You could say, hey, you already know what that is, right? I don't have to say nothing else. I was pretty spot on. That's what I like. I like when they come out. Yeah, come on with your next account. Come on, run real quick. Come on. Come on. Come on. And give me that good big old monkey smile when you come in. You know that, thin lip, monkey smile. Please give that to me. I got you distracted. I got you cordially. I don't care about all that. You ain't got nothing. You're doing exactly what I expect. Nothing less. Dumb little monkey. I'm enjoying this. Oh, this is fun. Now, this is fun. Oh, yeah. I got you in your DPS. Oh, this little monkey, something else, man. Faces in the stone. You goofy. He was one of the dumbest individuals I've ever seen. Now, see, Faces in the Stone, I actually respected it and I liked it, right? But you was a little goofy racist, right? I know what you do because I shared your channel. But you came over here not being able to sit because, you individuals with your fake whiteness, you think you're really smart and intelligent. Instead of offering something that is beneficial, instead of doing something that is something, I shared it with everybody and they're very aware of it. You just turn around and your fake ideology and your narrative of knowing nothing, you think that you know what you're doing or talking about. Now, I respect some of the work you do. And to have all these accounts and run around to be the ginger pushing false narratives. Now, I haven't even decided to spank you. I'm not into this white, black, and all that other stuff. I'm into people coming together, getting away from that stupid stuff, because I'm not part of that dichotomy. I'm white and Indian. All right. So, seeing how you're so caught up in your disparagingly disgraced epitome of existence, I'm not going to knock the little fusillade of work you done based on a narrative painted by an enemy that holds a lot of vernacular steeped in the stupidest of lies. And I know you're convincing, you're solid with it. You like it. Where I'm at, what kind of rock, bedrock, sediment, stones, geothermal, whatever, what exists here in Arizona? I want you to tell me from top to bottom, left to right, for your fake north, south, east, west nonsense. What kind of stone is this? And where is it really from? You know so much. I've watched all your videos. Where and what is it? Now, I can go and get the ones with gold and platinum in it, but I want you to break that little thing down with all your little knowledge. Now, I respect Paul Cook more than you because he actually knows. You're running off of a system that has created more lies than anything. But you come over here, and instead of sitting there, you couldn't contain yourself and have a decent conversation. You couldn't embark on something else because you wanted to get somewhere else. You wanted to go somewhere that had nothing to do with nothing you don't know about because you don't have the knowledge based on what I'm doing. And yet, with that fake white reverence, which is bull crap, you think that that is something that is supposed to be content. You think that's supposed to be meaningful? You think that I was going to sway and just go, oh, okay, yes, massa. No, we saved so many of you. All right. But see, you're not the good one. You have every possibility. You have everything to be good. And I think you think it's a game. Don't come talking about, can you lift this? Can you stop whatever it is? Don't even do that. Enjoy your ride. That's what you can do. All right? Because you believe in a lot of hokey pokey nonsense. Not like some of your work. She don't know nothing. Even with all that stolen from my people and utilized, you don't know nothing because you paint your own face. You paint your own script. You're not even medicinal. You're not even helpful. You don't know no truth of this world, this earth, or this land. But you is part of the contested problem, the official problem. That's what you are. These individuals are very wise to that. Hey, Tom, what's going on? And you think you're doing something? Y'all go check out a couple of the monkeys' channels. Because until you stop acting like a monkey, then I call you brother. I don't even know if I want to do that. Yes, Cabbage Patch, incubator Cabbage Patch children, the offspring of some of the worst. Thank goodness there's many of them who are very wise, very decent, very pleasurable, and very meaningful. You walk on the side of the enemy's narrative and you embrace it because you think that it means something. You think that you're something better. And you right now just showed that you're not better than anything. Instead of being knowledgeable, I was going to sit there and say, hey, well, you know, it'd be good to have a little live and have you talk about rocks. But you had to go and start sounding like the hypocrite that you are. Me, I don't care. I'm going to say whatever. You look at it and talk about your mammy and your pappy or your damn offspring. So I don't care one way or the other. I already got you in your feelings. And they're just looking at how retarded you sound. Well, you text. That means the process of your thought that actually comes with a sound. And I would ask y'all not even attempt to see what this monkey's voice sounds like. I'll set up a live, let you come on and talk your little hoo-ha-ha. And we'll see how far that goes. You almost got 3,000 subscribers. Whoop the freaking do. Keep playing it safe. I don't hate you, but you're very disrespectful. And then with that, I am a whole soul proprietor, eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Maybe you're wearing BBL teeth or something. I don't know. Not that I care. Yeah, I see. Now I see. Oh my goodness. This paleo shit. Y'all just so damn dumb. Y'all don't even know what paleo really means. It is contrived based on the construct to keep people away from the truth of history. Yeah, you know what? Like I said, you don't know nothing. And you think you know everything. Damn shame. Anyway, I'm not going to knock you too much. It's unnecessary. Yep. On this. Anyway, we're not going to say nothing about that. That's something all different. But anyway, appreciate everybody. Physical. Yeah, you back. Yo, back to what you were saying about ether after being on the periodic table. Would not the physical expression of it be melanin? No, you know what? Some people push that. No, it could be. I'm not saying no as an answer. I'm saying I don't think so. But it could plausibly is a possibility. It could be because they dismiss melanin. Most people are very unaware that melanin exists everywhere. So it's very possible. I would say research that. I might look into that. But in the ether, they removed it from periodical time chart. And I think that's important for people to look at and say why. And maybe you might be able to find out. And that's why I say everybody's resourceful. This individual came arguing about nothing, and I was talking about something totally different, and then started trying to handpick based on emotions or feelings. Look, I mean, if you're married to a dude, that's your business. I don't care. I don't care for it because there's nothing natural about it. That was bothering you because that's how y'all usually gaslight and cap before y'all start going because you think talking about rocks means you're a man. You're acting very effeminate. And that's what we're going to say there. You're not your divine masculine. And that's absolute. Anything else you want to say? Your time's almost up on one of those goofy accounts. When rocks cried out, you don't even hear the rocks talking. You're just doing it to have something to talk about based on a love that you had long ago. Hey, what's going on? Like I said, I'm not against you, but don't come against me like that. Because like I said, I am big on an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth in more ways than you can imagine. Wasting your time, come over here with that after I shared your little information out and everything. I just wanted people to see it for what it is. I even shared it to people who've been doing it for a very long time. So it's up to them if they even want to sit there and say anything. I already had one come back talking about, oh, that's very remedial. But hey, to each his own. Stay dealing with rocks. Don't go tossing rocks like poop, you know. Some monkeys like to grab it and throw it everywhere and, taste it and all that. Just don't do that. All right? You became very emotional. I'm going to play with that. I literally did 3 years of stand-up comedy. And you want to come over here and think you can misrepresent, recreate, and interpret something coming from a Slav? Are you serious? You have no idea of history. I was pretty spot on. I said, your time, you can come over back on one of your accounts. But then you wanted to make a threat. Boy, you better be careful. Because ignoramuses like you always show who you really are. Okay? So you keep dealing with faces in the stone. Okay? Let's see if we can pull that up. Okay, keep dealing with faces in the stone. Be mindful and respectful. West side, your meal. All right. Here's the deal. You can stay being ignorant. I can continue to call you a monkey, or you can get it together and carry yourself like your family, or I can start just making more jokes and cracking on you because it don't bother me one way or the other. And my videos, I said it so everybody can utilize them. Now, if you want to sit there and defamation and everything else, my little 7.5 years of law school, I have no problem with suing you. Seeing how you know law so well, right? Corporate and business law. Do you know how that functionality happens? Do you think you know? Oh, you think I didn't study, huh? Okay. Well, I'm not your Officer Tatum. All right. What's it called? I can't pull up the note. You believe in Christopher Columbus, young man? You're a man, right? I mean, you could be like a parasite, as an organism, right? That lives on in other organisms, right? Usually the host, and that's how you're trying to latch on, right? And it gets its nutrients, right? Your ego feeding it, right? and everything else from his parasites. Could be animals or, you know, plants. You know that, right? Well, not really, but organisms that are derived from it based on circumference of where it uses, right? I mean, you know these things, right? Okay. I mean, Earth can heal itself, but not with parasites. Okay. Not with excrement slinging monkeys. I mean, tell me how many so-called black melanated towns there were in America. You know, you mess with all these rocks in your locale. Tell me the truth about the grave sites that have been disrupted and dug up. Tell me about your fake whiteness and everything else. Let me know something that I don't know. Why don't you talk about that instead of arguing like some effeminate individual? Tell me about George Orwell, George Carlin, Manny P. Hall, Maxwell Jordan, Mark Twain, Napoleon. Tell me things that may be beneficial for others, seeing how you know so much. So you can come here. I set up a video to talk about, oh, shut up. So what? Many other people have, and they're going to get the same reward. So please, extrapolate so that other people can know this. All that hate you have, you don't even know why. It's just ignorance. That's all it is. It's your white and blackness. What color was just your so-called Jesus? It's his real name. Speak so they can learn from you, seeing how you know everything, you know. Okay, what's that? I mean, you can tell me about the tablets of Baha'u'llah, you know what I'm saying? Baha'u'llah, all right, if that's what you need to do. That was published in around 1978. You know, I know you like to talk about a lot of things. I'm trying to find out this thing on in Florida and Louisiana. Let's see, what is that? Do you think you're a Jew? If so, say so. Tell me you're a Jew. Is that what it is? Huh? I mean, then it goes back to Proverbs 27, you know. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not a day or what a day may bring, right? Forth. I mean, another man praised thee and not thy own mouth. Think about it, right? You know all these things, right? You just come over here running your mouth like you got a lock on something. I mean, Johanna Frederick Bloomberg. Tell me about that individual. You over here running your mouth, feeling some kind of way. Not that I give two rats behinds. Okay? Tell me about that. I asked you a while ago why you were doing a little woman to woman go back and forth, and ain't no other woman here, but you know, you carrying on like one. I mean, you know what happens when you divide people from the love of themselves? They speak outside themselves. Isn't that a way to conquer people? Oh, that's right. You know everything, right? The best way to gain control, right? Isn't it? You think you got control here? I stole a choker. You're in my home. I stole a choker. You're in my home. I stole a choker. You're in my home. Running your flagrant thing you call a thought process in the mouth. Okay. But my choker chafa, which I call my family, you think you know about that with your fake independent of identity, your fractured flaw? And for those who like to come in here with that high crap, just say chokwa. Salutations, grand rising and elevations. No, that's too outside the context of your false existence and your one mind collective. You know? Tasta chikasa, Takasha chikasa, chikasalumpa. No. You're gonna run around your myriad of ideologies. I'm a veteran. Like I'm gonna give a damn about what you think you are. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Algonquin's conquest of the Mediterranean reign. The Algonquin conquest of the Mediterranean region of 11,500 years ago. But it has everything to do with something you know nothing about. While you're studying them stones, talking about the faces in it, you can't even recognize the faces around you because you're steeped in your racist indepthity of ideology based on a school system that reciprocated from the frauds to dismiss the truth of our existence. What did you invent? All you bring is chaos. What did your people accomplish? What, and this is nothing against our other light brothers, skin brothers and sisters here, but to shut up the meaningless, mindless goof. What did y'all create? What did you find that was already here? How the hell you want to come into a world you're supposed to already exist in? What is it? You want to have that conversation? You want to go live? You want to debate? You ain't nowhere ready or compatible to debate anything. You get smoked like the windscreen you are. I think you know what you're doing or talking about. You're just a convenient proposal for everything obstacle, an obstacle that goes against everything natural. I thought you came to learn something, but you couldn't even contain yourself to hold your mouth to learn something. You know why? Because you're a racist. You are a racist. Covert, secret, dumb, worthless, pathetic racist who has not accomplished nothing, didn't invent nothing, didn't create nothing, but a usury. Just a user like usury. You have no idea. Oh, wow. I mean, communism was born out of the Russian Revolution of 1917, right? Who created communism? Marxism. Is not, are you liberal or conservative? Is not both one and the same? I know, rocks cry out, right? Walks talk or whatever, faces in the rocks or whatever, right? Okay. So in Psalms 82, chapter 1, right? Let me see if I can pull that up. This has hit me in my mind. Let me see if I can pull that up. Or if I was going to let the video, let it play for itself. Psalm chapter 82, verse 1. This Psalms of Asaph. I bet you think that's white too. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. He judges amongst the gods. How lowly you dwell in your epitome of existence. Flagrant, very effeminate. Tell your boyfriend I said hi. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Do you know what that even means? Oh, that's right. You have a whole nother definitive because it's not based on religion. This is a walk of life that is nothing but a constraint to those who are against it. And for those who need to know, you don't walk with it. You walk in the epitome of ignorance. You come flagrantly throwing words around, which is dismissive of the frauds who came on my land, getting people set up and murdered because they were by themselves far out in the lands that they belong to. And they sit there in defamation of character and lies and exude everything else because they feel some kind of way. You think that you have an idea, huh? Deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked as you are. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Do you know what that means contextually? The phenomena that they have said, I have said, ye are gods and all of you are children of the Most High. He's not talking about you because you don't carry yourself as one. You walk outside of that. But you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes, which is no problem. So arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. It don't mean right now. It means in the after. But you stand here, or you stand or sit there, typing away, thinking that you know what you're doing, and you don't even have a clue, and you think you know who you're talking to. You're not talking to anyone. You know, they say the Aramaic word for spirit is supposed to be the ruach or ruch, or, you know, in Aramaic and Hebrew is feminine, right? Whereas in Greek, enuma, for those who don't know, is a neutral gender. That's the enemy's narrative. That's something probably what you move on. Dynamic to create this false ideology of superiority to which you think that you exist in. And you have no idea about because you walk in the most subtle of ignorance. I'm going to start making some jokes about you here in a minute. I'm going to start cracking on you because you think you know what you're doing. Nah, you probably first generation born on my ancestral soil, acting like you've been here forever. What do you know about Franz Weidenberg, Franz Boas, Albert Pike, George Soros, Kim Jong-un, William Henry Gates II, Jeffrey Preston Bezos, Jeffrey Bezos? What do you know about Margaret Sanger, Margaret Hilda, Margaret Sanger, Margaret Hilda, Thatcher, the Baroness? What do you know about, the Baroness Thatcher, Theodore Teddy Roosevelt? In fact, his wife didn't want none of this going on. She has some indigenous blood in her, considered mulatto by definition. What do you know the truth about Albert Einstein or Abe Lincoln? You don't know nothing. Anthony Stephen Fauci. What do you know about the truth about him? What do you know about Mark Zuckerberg? What do you know about Edward Zuckerberg? What do you know about Justin Trudeau? That punk. Anthony Albanese. What do you know about Eugenio Leon Fauci? What do you know about any of these individuals? You set up over here running your mouth as if you have a clue who you having a conversation with. Do you? You have no clue. No. I got your butt hurt. You couldn't debate anybody if you wanted to. You're playing it. You stay with rocks. Learn rocks. Mami, yo no sé. Mami, el negro es total estúpido. That black one. Go ahead and run your mouth. Hey, baby. Hey, you want to come up on my shoulder? Now, this is one of the greatest things that Frederick Douglass said, and they try to make him out of Africa and all that other goofy stuff. I love the pure, peaceable, and impartial Christianity of Christ. Pure, partial, right? I therefore hateth corrupt, slave-holding, women-whipping, cradle-plundering, partial, and hypocritical Christianity of this land. Education system, it all started with that and everything else, and the ideology of Zionism and white superiority. The facade of it, right? Indeed, but Charles, he also says, I can see no reason but the most deceitful one for calling the religion of this land Christianity. I look upon it. I don't care if you're not it. That's what built you up in your false credentials worldwide, right? Calling the religion of this land Christianity. I look upon it as the climax of all misnomers, the boldest of all frauds, and the grossest of all labels. Frederick Douglass, narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass, an American. Not U.S. fake corporated. I'm not a U.S. citizen. You don't know, have a clue who you're talking to. You know, when I was telling my brothers who were Mormons, brothers with afros coming on the res, talking about Hawaii, I says, you know, the government don't own that land. They murdered, they betrayed the king and queen there, just like they did Fiji and everywhere else. And the whitewashing started. And you think you're going to sit on here that you want to debate me? I'm going to tear your ass apart. I'm going to do you in ways you've never been done. I guess you'd ever watch some of the videos where I've shut people down. That's not ego. That's me telling you a truth. But you want to play this game. You think you're resourceful enough? You think you have enough knowledge? You think that you've been fed well enough to be able to do this? I have no problem with it. I've always offered, if you want to debate, let's debate. I don't care. You already know you're nothing. It doesn't matter to you. You just want to see if you can learn something. I can do it without teaching you a damn thing and wipe your ass with your mouth. That's what I can do. Wipe your ass with your mouth. You probably like that anyway. Nasty ass. Rocks, faces in the rocks. You have no clue. Very disrespectful. I can show you disrespect. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You come over here with your little bullshit, think you saying something? Nope, I called you on your ideology and your narrative, your trumpeter like. All right, let me stop cracking on this monkey. Monkey of a man of a monkey. I don't know. That's how you acting. Still can't find it. I still can't find it. Where's it at? Then I'm gonna get off of here. I streamed long enough. I had a little disruptor come in. Can't handle getting his ass spanked. You know, you just want to sit up there and I ask you if you're Jewish and this, that, and the other. You can't even be honest. Yep, that's what I thought. That's what y'all do. And then you want to deflect. Yeah, you think you know everything. You don't know nothing. Yeah. I bet your notes are as skewed as you are. All right, where's that? Yeah. You want to come over here with that bullshit. Y'all say Satan and all this other stuff. Oh, I'll get the charger for this, guys. It didn't already start going dead, guys. It started going dead. It started going dead. Started going dead. All right, we can turn this off. It's going dead. So I'm putting on charge, guys. I'm gonna sign off. He's talking about sending an invite. I know some of you already checked the channel. So he wants to get his ass smashed. I don't mind. It's about time I start whipping some of these individuals who are worthless, who only go around to do dumb things or feel some kind of way instead of being respectful. So I'll go over there and whoop his ass right quick. All right, but first let me go ahead and set up this stuff, get my stuff ready because it's a little bright out, it's a little sunny. I need to get some work done. All right, so that's the most important thing. Just look at you. You ain't said nothing. I done ran your ass into a corner. You look at you. Where in biblical text does it say he loudmouth to use? Yeah, whatever that means. I don't know, Matthias. What are you talking about? Head so inflated, live stream. Oh, head so inflated. There you go. Throwing stuff around. You just learned everything you know through divine intervention. You learned it from other people. Okay. This guy had an IQ of 70. That's the problem with people who know a little bit, whatever that means, is I think they know everything, but do you think they were stupid? This is not easy to do. I want to invite you to live stream and debate with me personally. That's no problem. You all have a... Hey, all right, baby, go slaughter. Oh, you're down. Hey, what's going on, family? Religion is a form of control. Exactly. Yep, you got that right. You're a demon speaking profanity. Matt Diaz, who are you talking to? Is this one of those fake individuals? Religion with Allah is Islam. Right. Right now. Okay, how many you are really about it? You want to dismiss rocks? No, not at all. You don't dismiss rocks. Kadesh Kadash Halaya. Unless you want to send it to me. In order for us to do this, we're going to have to take turns talking. You don't control shit. I'm just going to spank your ass. But Allah, y'all. He judges better. Believe we hold in court in the heavens. I'm going to send an invite immediately. Mitra, let's go. What the heck? You typing so fast, you're emotional. You already lost, but it's all right. Because you think it's about win and lose. Do you have a lot of assumptions about other people? No, you're acting a certain way, and that's it. And everybody sees it for what it is. Reading a white people Bible, unless you're reading from the Ethiopian Bible, you're reading propaganda from Roman. Matt Diaz, take your little goofy fake Spanish ass the fuck on somewhere else. You're not getting timed out. You're getting blacked. I saw you on Kill Me. You was one of them dumb motherfuckers. He's a fucking goofy. What a stupid motherfucker. Look at these how y'all find these old dumb motherfuckers? That motherfucker just a rapping and babbling, blah, 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 blah. Shut your monkey ass up. Hey, bring a little goofy motherfucker over. Hey, you see what that stupid sound bit? I was like, I'm not even gonna repeat that dumb shit. That is like, oh my goodness. I like dumbasses, and we got a plethora on them. We see them all the time, getting their behinds handed to them. Just as retarded as fuck. God damn, you stupid. You're so... Oh, shut the fuck up, you effeminate. You gay, nigga? Gay ass motherfucker. This motherfucker's an old faggot. You ain't got time to do that back and forth with a homosexual. You immoral some bitch talking about you want to talk. You probably sitting reaching under your table now with some Vaseline. No diddy. Oh, goofy. You gone, motherfucker. Now y'all can still look at his channel and see if he's saying anything worthwhile. But anyway, yeah, you got it already. Yeah, I just hit you where you need to be hit it at. Look at, oh, retarded motherfucker. You goofy, stupid. I say it all the time. People are stupid. And you are the epitome. Did y'all check out the channel? Y'all remember I shared it? I would thought I was doing the idiot a favor, you know? And no. This monkey couldn't even speak on what was stated. And they want to debate. Don't even know what the fuck he wants to debate. He just feeling some kind of way. He want me to go over there and wear his ass out is what he wants. It's stupid. And then this other one, Matt Diaz. Probably fucking one of them officers out of Florida or something. Texas, one of them little worthless motherfuckers. Or LA. You see what's happening over there. Stupid motherfucker. I got the badge, so I know everything. Didn't even know how to communicate and conversate. Oh, reject, retarded motherfucker. Look, they still sat there even after I went and removed them from the channel because they're wasteful. Go and do what you got to do, monkeys. Let me let this charge up, and I'll see y'all here in about 30, 45 minutes. We work on the witch call, okay? Nothing personal against them, man. I mean, this ain't even for education. This is for laughs for them two. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no diddy. Yeah, he probably sitting with it on the table. I want to debate him. Oh my goodness. That little fake racists. These little monkeys. They you know what? They do pay stupid motherfuckers to do stupid shit now these days. I would think that they'd be smarter than that. They're not. You know what I'm saying? Can y'all read the stuff that they... Look at the shit. Look at the shit that this motherfucker was saying. I didn't delete... Oh, I deleted the Matt Diaz goofy motherfucker. But y'all can see the ones, because y'all got wrenches, you can see what it makes no sense. I don't even qualify it. I got some people in your head, you're thinking, but you don't push racism. I'm sitting there saying who created it, this, that, and other, and motherfucker move on it, because you know what? They think they got to up and up. No, you just remove them. When I can see that there's no consistency, nothing pragmatic to anything, there's nothing that is respectfully responsive or responsibly respectful, I sit there and go, how do people hold these conversations with brain dead individuals who are being manipulated in a way that's perverse, so perverse? Screenshot the comments. Exactly. Oh no, I got them right here. They don't go nowhere. This is about the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And you know me, I'll sit there and I'll make a post showing all these things because you know I'm a screenshot, and besides I'm recording. So yeah, these are some that, man, you can't make up this level of damn phonetic stupidity. It's like, how do you sit there and say the dumb shit? And then we got a guy with no grammatical, don't even know the language he's speaking, sitting there going, IQ of 70. What the fuck does that mean? First of all, what does IQ mean? What was it created for? If my people are very aware, based on a system that was against them, but using everything for them, that was to establish an accordance and an agreement to say that they don't deserve this. This is for these individuals, right? It's like when we know the education system was created for them, and we superseded that. All of us have the higher IQs than the majority of them. Not all my light-skinned folks. But when it comes to this stuff, it's just facts. You can Google, research it. We can use their Google, and it will share the light. I don't have this animosity and all this stuff, and y'all already know that. My thing is to teach the things that people don't know about, but you know, like some little worthless motherfucking monkey, and we have a lot of them now, be paid to do something. He probably some fat mukbang, 400, 500 pound, 5 foot, 6 foot something monkey sitting there, but y'all saw the video, a ginger who can't get his head right. And I watched some of his videos and I was like, oh, are you serious? And I was like, well, y'all check it out and tell me what you see. Well, let me hang this up because I need to let it charge, and it won't charge. Get out of here. It won't charge fully. Well, make it charge like this, but let me get off. I've been on here for about roughly over 3 hours, and I appreciate it. And we had the hecklers come in, and they got de-heckled. All right? What was that? All I know is that I came into the live after meditating, saw someone claiming to be a man who texts more than a priest. I know, Thom. Sharon,
it's a little like adolescent boys in a locker room with a rule. I know. It's like I'm sitting there going, I'm gonna entertain them, but see the guy's channel, Faces in the Rocks. You can check it out. And I watched a few of them. And I was like, something fishy about this individual. And I shared it because I was like, asking people, what do y'all think about this? Paul Cook, he ain't even say nothing. So you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the donations too. All right? Appreciate you guys. That was fun. I know some things are a little more drastic, but there's a reality of some things that don't need to be. Maybe that's what they wanted to see. They really didn't see shit. But anyway, I appreciate y'all.